Good afternoon. It is 2:59. I'm Joe Spadano, live from the 104.5 The Zone studio. This morning, our college football legend Lee Corso is calling it a career. As ESPN announced today that the 2025 Week 1 edition of the College Game Day will be his last. Corso has spent 38 seasons behind the update desk since its inception and will turn 90 years old this year. The NCAA also announced today a new college football rule change to their combat faking injuries. If medical personnel are forced to enter the field of play to evaluate an injured player after the ball is spotted by the officiating crew, the players' teams will be charged a timeout. If that team doesn't have a remaining timeout, a 5-yard delay of game penalty will be assessed. And breaking news from earlier today, Jim White announced former Titans linebacker Keith Bullock will announce the team's second-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. For your foundation repair and whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into 3-8 right here on 104.5 The Zone, locked and loaded on Friday Eve. Ladies and gentlemen.
Friday Eve.
Ain't that what Thursday is?
I mean, might as well be.
Okay, shout out to Ferguson, too. Don't forget them, y'all.
Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, Thirsty Thursday at Ferguson's.
FergusonHome.com. That's where you need to go. Proud sponsor of 3HL. At least
Absolutely.
I hope they're proud. We're very proud that they're our sponsor.
Why wouldn't they be proud? They had us out there. Come try stuff out. We tried toilets. Well, I tried toilets and bathtubs and showers. Y'all tried
I was going to say, don't group us together.
I appreciate you starting the show. I'll get my headphones out. I was on the carpet, y'all.
What's the carpet?
I'll tell you about it later.
What's the carpet?
That's where management is, on the carpet.
Oh.
Haven't you heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I ain't never had a job.
Okay, here we go.
Ian Rappaport announced just 30 seconds ago the Titans have waived former third-round pick offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere.
Holla.
Yo, why you laughing like that?
I forgot he was still on the team.
So did I.
did too. See, now that's what I'm telling y'all. All this y'all talking.
See you, buddy.
I forgot my jersey again.
That's okay.
Hey, that's God telling you something, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, telling me just keep it on reserve, keep it close. That's what
MPF.
he's telling me.
Holla.
MPF is gone.
Do you think they actually called teams and tried to trade him? See if
You
anybody
got
was
to try it.
interested?
You had to try it.
Yeah, you have
Probably
to
like,
try.
What's your sales pitch?
Yeah, let's play bingo. If you get the bingo before me, you get a player.
he
Hey,
was
listen,
thrown
a
into
warm body is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
he was thrown into a difficult situation. He's got all kinds of ability. Watch the Ohio State tape.
Yeah. Don't forget, and don't forget, he works with wasn't he like a gambling consultant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
earned him a nice 5-game suspension.
that's like, you know what I mean? So like, he got a lot of things that he
Not
can
only
do.
that,
man.
but then he was like, he had his own little NFL NIL deal.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm telling you. After getting the suspension.
That was a strong play.
Yeah, that
That's
was.
another sales point for him, man. This
It
guy's
is.
got a lot of confidence, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was
Resilience.
injured, and then he was dog Shiano
Yeah,
on the
he's got
field.
chutzpah.
Yeah,
But
and
hey.
didn't really accept it.
Yeah.
Like he went out there, played, and tapped his helmet. Let him get on out here.
What do
My
you
estimate.
think OLJ thought of him?
Man, a load of talent in this body,
Well,
but where is it?
I think like his release before the draft tells you everything you need to know about
know.
OLJ. By the way, thank you, Zev, for starting today's show with Nicholas Petit-Frere news.
Yeah, you
Zephyr.
want some more Titans offensive lineman news?
Sure.
Oh, wow.
They signed 3 offensive linemen
Oh,
right after
God.
they released
Darn.
NPF.
All right.
Sam Mustipher, Brendan James, and oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to pronounce. I'm
Yeah,
going to call
do
him Ollie.
Wait.
Ollie Udo.
Ali Udo.
I'm not going to pronounce his full first name.
Zach's in there. Can Zach do it?
Zach, can you pronounce his full name?
Come
Here,
on,
I got it
Zach.
right here.
You got it.
It is Oli Semeka. Oli Semeka Udo. So he
I was
goes
gonna
by
say-
Oli Udo. And I guess you could say that NPF shouldn't have bet on himself.
Oh, boom.
He stole that joke from Ross. I want everybody to know that.
Good job, Ross.
Good job, Ross.
We'll give credit where
We
credit
got
is
you,
due.
Ross.
Brett Doherty with you on a
Ross
beautiful.
is my neighbor, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, Ross.
yeah.
Ross, you
Wow.
could have came
He's
pick
in
me up the other
training
day.
back
then.
here. He's my neighbor.
Are you saying Ross knows
Holding
where
it
all
down
the
in the brook. Brentwood, let's go.
That's right. Yes.
Are you
Wait a
saying that-
minute.
Are you saying Ross knows where all the bodies are buried?
Although, what are you? You're like 3 streets over, though. He's not right there.
Well, I'm like on the other side of the neighborhood, but
Yeah.
like we still live in the same neighborhood.
yeah, it's
so.
still the same home.
So he doesn't see. He's not a
What?
witness. He's not a witness to the weird stuff you've got going on at your
No,
place.
but I bet he probably
what's
has
wrong.
seen the weed tree in the yard.
the weed tree. It's not actually weed. We need to tell everybody that.
Yeah,
Ross-
the HOA's been kind of disappointed in that one.
Hold on. Your parents aren't involved in the HOA, are they?
No, they're not.
Okay,
That
good.
would be
Whew.
hilarious. Slay, what's wrong?
That was a little,
Dog.
that was a little shaky
Am
for
I
a
the
second.
only one, or does Ross have the greatest voice if you can't never see him?
Oh, because it doesn't match his
No,
body.
like we need him behind the curtain, just only able to talk. Like that voice is, I was not expecting that.
Like
I
the
never heard-
Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
I'll just pop in every now and again.
Dude, that's kind of like Fozzie the Bear or something. Like,
That is, you're right, because
No,
it
listen
doesn't
to
match
it.
his body.
No.
Now Ross played football. Where did you play,
voice.
Ross?
I played at Wheaton College in
Yes.
Ravenwood.
Yes, Ravenwood and Wheaton College. So,
Yeah.
but you're right, Slay. Voice does not match
no,
the
that's a
body.
beautiful voice. I
It's
wish I
like
could.
Brentwood Jake. I'm like, I
Yes.
just need your voice.
That's a voice that I would try to emulate. Like I would call
Do it.
somebody using that voice.
Do it
you
right
got
now.
a great voice, Slay.
Thank you. I have a great voice.
Now you sounded like a stuffed bear.
That's what Ross sounds like a little bit. Dude, I love that voice.
Let's have a picnic.
Hey,
Salty.
boo-boo.
Hey, boo boo.
Sultry.
Dude, I love that.
Doug Foley
I
said
never
it's
want to see
sultry.
Ross doing the show.
Just stay in that
When he
corner,
feels
Ross.
it, like, oh yes, I put a curtain over. That did it for me. God, I love voices.
What did you say
And
about
that's one I love.
Doug Falling in the chat said sultry.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, it's one of them read me a bedtime story voices.
Huh.
Voice. I'll say voice. Ross. Say,
Wait, is his nickname going to be Voice?
it is going to be the voice. That's his new nickname. The voice. Could you say once upon a time and far, far away?
Once upon a time, far, far away.
Come on, man. Come on, dog. Tell me that don't belong on Shrek.
I'll take
So-
appointments for bedtime readings.
So Ross said he played at Wheaton College. Ross, how old are you?
22.
22. So my oldest son Connor plays at MTSU, and he visited Wheaton College. So we went up there just outside Chicago.
Oh, nice.
It's like what, 45 minutes to Wrigley from there? Something
Yeah,
like that.
the train goes through campus too, so you can get there pretty quick.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But a lot
And-
colder up there.
And what was the flight that went down in Pennsylvania where the
On 9/11?
on 9/11
Yeah.
where the passengers took over the plane
Mm-hmm.
and Todd Beamer said let's roll.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Wheaton College, Todd Beamer.
I didn't know that.
Hmm. You did, didn't you, Ross?
That's a no.
That's a great
That's
answer.
Or he
right.
didn't have a mic. Yeah,
That's
there's a
a-
statue.
Didn't really have a mic, but yeah. And
Yeah, there's a
they got like
statue of
the
Todd Beamer.
student center there's dedicated to him, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Wow.
And
Look at
Wheaton
that.
football, ultra successful.
Look at this. You got freaking history lessons, sports.
You know who else is from there?
sultry voice all rolled into
Man,
one. I'm
this
You
playing
know who
dumb.
else is from there and went there for a year, I think, is Bert Nyhill.
Really?
Yep.
Did he?
Former Tennessee Titan Pete Ittersagen played corner, went there as well.
There you
He
go.
was with the Titans for a couple years.
Yep.
Nice.
Lots of
a
CPA
white
kids up there.
corner, I would like to say. That doesn't happen very often.
That's a heck of a name, too. Pete Innosaken.
I remember that guy.
THB, Ross is here to take Zeph's job. Get that resume ready, Zeph.
Yeah,
You gotta be calling Cracker Barrel back
plotting
now.
on him back here.
What's that thing people have to, like, people can pay you money to do messages
Cameo.
and stuff? Cameo. Yeah, Ross could do Cameo.
He should.
Yeah, but you can't
But
see
you can't
him.
say, yeah, you can't, yeah, he needs
Makes
a
it
voice
better.
cameo.
He needs to be like on what was the show Home Improvement?
Yes, right there
who's
with the
neighbor?
fence. God, not Al. Was it?
Maybe it was Al.
It might have been Al.
No,
What was his name
Al
and
was
name?
Al was a neighbor.
Boys.
That's what we talking about.
Who's
Al was
the
a neighbor.
neighbor?
No,
That's
no,
what it
no. The neighbor that he always ran with. That
Oh.
was in front of the
Oh.
camera. I think. I didn't watch that show that much.
I love
I know
that
what you're
show.
talking about, where they cut
we
off his
watched
face.
that show all the
Golly.
time.
They didn't cut off his face. But
Start with
like,
an H.
It's a
Mm,
weird name.
It is. I'm finna find out. Somebody in the chat gonna say it.
Somebody will tell us.
Is
in
it
the chat.
Gertrude?
No,
Heck
but
no.
it's something.
Wilson!
Wilson.
Bingo. Good job, chat.
Bingo.
Oh,
Don
Wilson.
Davenport is here, y'all.
What up?
What up, Babsy?
Wilson, our chat's all over it.
Our
Man,
chat
I
is
love our
on it.
chat.
Patricia on YouTube. Ross sounds like he has stirred a few martinis.
Kyle, it's a good day, man.
It
Karen, afternoon, Ross. Like, the women love you, Ross.
Yeah.
Ross is training. Slay Dog is here, too.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Better be ready.
Time for the show.
Dante on YouTube. My brother is quarterback at Wheaton College right now, Xavier Jones.
Oh,
Oh, that's real. Is that
Wheaton,
good,
man.
Yeah, Xavier played at Beach High School.
so he's a
Dog.
local kid too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's a lot of
like
Nashville
a
kids
local
up there.
pipeline to Wheaton.
Got a little pipeline. There's a couple BA kids there right now, I think, too.
Yep, CPA has sent a bunch of kids up there.
Wait, you were a linebacker, right?
Wide receiver.
Oh, I was close.
Know each other so well.
I know.
3 streets over.
I'm such a good neighbor.
Work in the same place.
He's a skill guy. You didn't think that, Don?
Wow.
Yes, I thought that.
You got drinks over there? Speaking of
do.
martinis?
Yes.
DHB, Ross has a PA announcer voice.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
Ross, please.
I would run around. Ross, please.
Idiot Garage says he's been smoking Marlboro since he was 4.
It's the scratchy, man. That's what I love. like
Just
that, man.
tuning in, who is Ross? Ross is training to
You'll find out
be a
soon.
producer.
Yeah, you can't really find out until
Yeah,
he's
104
behind the glass all the way. Like
Yeah.
it was take a break or something.
He's training.
Marciano, Ross sounds like a surfer.
He kind of looks like
Does.
one.
Exactly. It's the voice though.
He doesn't
don't-
really look like a wide receiver to me. No offense, Ross.
I pride myself on shiftiness, lunch pail guy, deceptive speed and quickness, good route running, all
The
those
usual
things.
white stereotype
White receiver.
receiver.
Julian Edelman type.
Yeah,
that
you
probably
were in the
pro
slot,
type.
huh?
Yeah.
I will say this. I
The
do.
field is nice at Wheaton. We
Is it?
we watched the game up there. Yep.
I do know also that Ross, in summers when he was back, would help train some of the neighborhood kids
Oh, really?
in sports. Yes,
what's
I,
up.
I need to get him with my little soccer player, my bonus son, because we need to work on some quickness on those feet.
Get him running some hills soon
Yep,
this
yep.
summer.
Yeah.
Yep, I might have to hire you.
You have a
Ross,
hill.
Got-
in our neighborhood.
yeah, we got
right next to
some-
your house,
some hill
right?
street.
Like if I'm in your backyard looking at the back of your house to the left, where Slay and I go to the woods and pee,
Yep.
Oh yeah, but that's not a hill
water
you
bed.
go on. That's where I saw the snakes.
well, even better.
Yeah,
you got to run
dodge.
faster.
Yeah, you got to get in and out.
Yeah, shifty.
Shifty like Ross.
I mean, either you get better or you get bit.
Yes.
That is
Get down or get up. One of
that's
the
a
two.
hell of a motto right there. Oh man.
There are so many interesting stories today. So, what's the latest with the Nico Iamaleava situation? We've got that for you. Auburn guard Chad Baker-Mazzara transferred.
Traitor.
He's in the portal. This is
Traitor.
no surprise. So he went to
What a
Duquesne.
traitor.
He went to Duquesne for a year, got in the portal. Okay?
Which is fine.
Then he went to San Diego State for a year, got in the portal. Then he went to Northwest Florida State. College. I don't know
JUCO.
why. Okay.
Mhm.
For 1 year, got in the portal.
Mhm.
He went to Auburn for 2 years. He broke his trend. You got more out of him than you should have expected.
And guess what, Babs?
He's
Before
also
you
gonna,
say that,
He's
Well,
also
I
going to be.
was just gonna say Bruce Pearl stood up for him and battled for him
Oh, yeah,
and
they don't- yeah.
went against everybody talking bad about him.
listen, I love him.
Go ahead.
Great player,
But-
so talented.
But
This may have been one of those. Hey, you may want to look somewhere else. We'll take you back now. We want to have you back, but just see what your options are.
if he would have come back,
I got you,
he
Slay.
would have been
I got you.
26. He's going to be 26 years old in January.
Okay.
He would have been 26 years old. So, defaulto leader. Do you want that guy as the leader of your team?
But sometimes you need to
No,
clear
how
cap.
is he that old and that immature?
See,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying.
That's
I
and that's
mean, the guy's having fun.
no, having a ball.
He's having a blast.
So much talent. Like
So
I mean,
much talent.
if y'all just knew the behind the scenes, like his talent is nuts. But
Third team All SEC.
Why does it have to be behind the scenes?
because I can't reveal some of this though.
So you're
All
saying
right, so he
there's,
gone.
there's
Him
some
and MPF
No, it's like
are,
some of-
they're dead to me.
The,
They're
the
done-
way
they're
they're
gone.
reloading down there though with what Bruce got going on, they've been attacking the portal. Like
Yeah.
Bruce ain't wasting no time. So shout out to him. And that's what I'm saying. Like they're coming with a new little chemistry. I think that style of play gonna be a little different.
Okay.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It
Thank you
is.
for the clarification. This is why I wrote in the text, Slay, I need your take because I think he's
Oh,
a
I didn't
traitor.
see it. I didn't see that.
Oh, well,
So-
you just gave it.
NPF is gone. Are y'all what's your reaction to NPF being gone? Are you mad? Would you giving him another chance?
He had a chance he had a chance on both sides. Like, and when he had to play.
Yes. The NCAA has approved a change regarding injury timeouts. There's a Maryville pastor that was abducted at gunpoint, and literally, like, one of the first questions he was asked when he was rescued was about the Nico situation. He was upset about it.
He was told about it.
Right,
didn't
and then
like
he
it.
was upset about
Yeah,
it.
pretty bad.
So
Pretty bad when you get the pastor upset.
yes, we've got that story for you. Syracuse head coach Fran Brown ain't paying wide receivers. That's a pretty funny
That's a great
comment
story.
there. Ashton Genty, running back from Boise State, released a little letter to NFL teams.
I can't wait to hear that. What's that about?
We know who's going to reveal the second round pick for the Tennessee Titans, former Titan player.
I can't. Boy, Bully better come. I'm talking about energy.
You just gave it up.
Ooh. Oh, damn.
Yeah, Keith Bullock.
No, he said in the update.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's public.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bullock
it's
said it.
very public. Yeah,
Oh,
but it,
okay.
but it
came out
hadn't
and
been
said
said on this show, but I didn't.
okay,
I didn't
okay.
Yeah, Zeph did it.
And Lee Corso said to retire.
Oh.
We'll relive some
Coach.
Lee Corso stuff. All that coming up. If you
Andrew
want
Byer was coached at Wheaton. Shout out to him. My bad, y'all.
615-737-1045. Also, if you have more Wheaton trivia, we're here for it. 3HL 1045 The Zone. I want to tell you about Ferguson Home, man. They are the presenting sponsor of 3HL. Check them out online, fergusonhome.com. They've got incredible fixtures and things that'll make your home feel like a brand new home, and they can help you out. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. 401 South Mount Juliet Road is the new location at Providence Marketplace in Mount Juliet. They are in Nashville on Powell Avenue, New Salem Road in Murfreesboro, Clarksville, West Dunbar Cave Road, and Bowling Green on Lovers Lane. Visual Comfort and Company Lighting, we experienced some of the elevated lighting options that your home can take on from Ferguson Home, and timeless, beautiful. Those are some of the words that will come to mind when you check out Visual Comfort and Company Lighting. Luxury lighting with timeless materials and expert craftsmanship. If you are a homeowner creating your dream space, look no further than Ferguson Home. Ferguson Home has the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting for any of your home projects. Check them out online. Again, fergusonhome.com. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together.
Two Rivers Ford announces employee pricing for everyone. Every tradesman, every dad, every rising star. You pay what we pay. Two Rivers Ford. Locally owned. American made.
Whether you're a homeowner creating your dream space or a pro managing multiple projects, discover a new way to shop at Ferguson Home, where great ideas become stunning spaces. Ferguson Home is designed for the way you want to shop. Explore the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting products online, or experience items firsthand in one of our showrooms. Our experts offer personalized support every step of the way. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. Shop top brands like Hinckley or find your local showroom at fergusonhome.com.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. The executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
Thursday, y'all, already.
This is a new tune by Zeph. Zeph never played this.
The song's entitled Things Can Only Get Better by Howard Jones.
Good job, Zeph.
Is that because
He had no
NPF's
idea
gone?
what he's doing.
No, Zeph playing that. I know he did.
No, Zeph's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Why did you play this song?
Because I had 7 seconds left, and it was the first
See?
one I saw.
Dang
See?
it, Zeph.
Told y'all.
I'm sitting
We
here
gave you
trying to
props.
prop you up.
I'm not going to
Good
lie.
try.
Why are y'all going to believe in that?
I'm not going to lie. You guys know my game already.
If it walks like a duck.
Quacks like a duck.
Look, people in the
I
chat
can
want
tell
my,
you can pull a truck. Hook them all suck up.
Look, these last 2 days, people in the chat have wanted my job, and I don't know what I did to you guys.
It started with Ross, man.
Like, I left for a week on my honeymoon. I come back, and you guys want me fired. Like,
Yeah.
what did I do?
Well, look, this is a competitive
This is what
industry. You
happens.
can't leave for a week,
Yeah,
man.
That's what happens out here. Zeph.
Things
It's
happen
rough.
quickly out here in the streets.
It's rough, dog. Especially when you don't call and check in.
Also, I want to address this audio issue. I apologize for people
Straight
that are.
literally called this show from Aruba
It's just
on
one
the
day.
He
On the
beach.
texted us. He
One day.
texted us every day.
Just one day.
I was locked in.
The people don't know.
While he was consuming
People-
adult beverages.
Hey,
Not enough for
I
some.
behaved on the air
Yes, you
when I
did.
called in.
Right, but when Slay goes, Zeph, you're drunk, aren't you? Yes, I am.
I wasn't gonna lie.
Or he said fried, so he doesn't say
Fried,
the word
yeah.
drunk.
We don't say
Yeah.
that. We don't say the D word.
Mhm.
Damn it.
Edward Brent Doherty.
I'll see. It's Brent Dunn, but yes.
That's right,
Edward
Dominic
Brent
Jones. No
Dunn.
days off, baby.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Brent Dunn?
Brenton.
Brenton, yeah.
Brenton or Brenton?
I always said Brenton. Although I
Traylon or
would
Traylon?
I would try not to say
Traylon.
it. And I usually like when I was a kid, I never told anybody that my name was number one, that my first name was Edward.
That's
Yeah.
a great name.
Because when you're a kid, you don't want
That's
to be
not a good kid name, though.
you know, Ed. Yo, Ed, what up? And you're 12. You know, hey, yo, Ed, you want to go play some Nerf football?
Trust me, I know.
Sylvester.
Still
But that's your
not.
middle name. though.
Yeah, but still, boy, once they imagine kids
I
when they
told
find
them.
that out.
I still remember.
Imagine me.
Yeah, Babette.
That's
Yeah.
a great one.
I still
So you know
remember.
what I did? I passed it to my daughter.
You deal with this.
Here you go.
Bill's character.
You hated it so bad.
It Bill's character.
There are lots of
It's
Edwards
cool.
in my family. That's kind of the name.
Is
But, yeah. Yeah, I still remember 8th grade in social studies where you know, they're just trying to get their information, and it's easy to knock it out in the first 10 minutes of the first day of class. Like, what's your name? What's your address? You know, all this stuff. Like now, you know, there's a sense of privacy, so they probably wouldn't do it that way. But
Right.
I still remember going, Edward Brenton Doherty, and I lived at 4021 Dorcas Court
Oh, gosh. Bless
All of
your
that.
heart.
in less than a minute.
Yeah.
And everybody in there that's ready to judge everything about everybody.
Brave soul.
Right
yo.
there.
Brave soul.
Not brave. I was just telling the truth, but I was just like,
Brave. I would
mortified.
I would have lied. I wouldn't. There's no way I would have told my live on Dorcas Court. There's no way possible. I would. I
named the
promise.
street Dorcas.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Listen, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now. I would have came up with something like, "Hey, man, they renovating our street, so the name's not even that no more."
We're going to have to
Yeah.
talk privately about it.
I ain't.
But it's not even Dorcas. Like Dorcas Drive led to Dorcas Court
Sounds
over
like-
off Estes and
Yeah.
Green Hills. I mean, it's still there.
No, I just would tell me. Listen, I got to show you where it's at. We ain't really got no address.
Take you over there.
That's what I told my
Mr.
teacher.
Poston.
My fourth grade teacher, Miss Thorson. Shout out to Miss Thorson.
Isn't it funny how you just remember all your teachers?
That was one of my greatest teachers,
Same with this guy.
Miss Thorson.
I don't remember any of them.
You don't remember your teachers?
Uh-uh.
Miss Walker was my first grade teacher.
I love that.
Miss Anderson was my third grade teacher. I don't know what happened in second grade.
I love Babs.
Miss Herrick in fourth grade.
No, I don't remember that.
You
many,
guys
y'all.
really, no.
I just remember Miss Thorson and a couple at West End Middle School and East.
I don't remember anything till high school.
Yeah, I remember all high school. We got to know each other.
Anyway,
well.
615-737-1045. Notre Dame quarterback Steve Angeli is that how you pronounce his name? Zeph is the show linguist.
Yeah, and jelly.
Is that what we're going with?
That's what I'm going with.
Has entered the portal, 62205. Did pretty well in the playoffs against Penn State. Remember, Riley Leonard went down. He had to come in. He went like 6 of 7 for 44 yards in that game.
That's exactly what his stat line was.
Is it?
Yep.
Look at that.
Job
Just
well.
read
He
something
went 0
once.
for 1. He was 0 for 1 for 0 yards versus Ohio State, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're 0 for 1, you're not going to throw for any yards, right?
What was?
I mean, it could have been negative.
Really?
I was just giving you his stats.
Do you want to know another?
What were
quick-
Nico's stats against
Ohio State.
Ohio State?
He had 2 touchdowns.
Why would you do that? What's going on?
Yeah, why? I mean, that was a stray right there. We haven't even gotten into
nobody
Nico
did
yet.
anything to you. Just a little,
She's still mad about Chad Baker
like a
Mazzara.
little angry mob leader over there or something.
Have fun with Jackson Arnold this year.
Wow.
See? There it is.
Oh, hello.
You
It's good
wanted
that
it.
you have long arms.
You wanted it, you
For a-
got it.
I was showing him my
That's what I was saying. What is it?
So when you have a toddler, you don't have real normal Band-Aids in your house. I sliced my finger, and I am now wearing a...
Babsy.
Who is that? Belle and Mulan Band-Aid.
How'd you slice your finger?
Yeah, come
I
on,
don't
Babsy.
know.
Yeah, you did.
That means I don't want to share.
I don't know.
Just looked up and it was sliced.
You know what's funny about her? She's 5'4", but she has really long arms and really long fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
So,
I bet my wingspan is
We need to measure her wingspan.
kind of crazy
We had it.
for
We
my
had
height.
it. We had it written down somewhere.
Yeah, we did, and it was
I should put it on the
Stupid
whiteboard.
long.
Yep.
She's doing it now. So when she flips somebody off, it's very noticeable, as it was right there. What's the latest with Nico Iamaleava transfer situation? Some said yesterday that he would transfer to UCLA. Done deal for less money, which comes as no surprise.
Today about choice.
Today, Chris Lowe reported that the two sides are in discussion, but nothing has been finalized.
I saw 1.75 million as a potential number, but I don't think that was confirmed. I think it was just a rumor.
And that also does not, well, they're all rumors. Nothing's ever confirmed on money, but that also does not consider the difference in taxes.
True. California will take a lot of that away from him.
Yes. So 1.7 is
900,000 maybe?
probably. California's rough, man.
Yeah, that's.
Hi to all you Californians
they
that have
didn't-
moved here. Welcome
Listen.
to town. We're glad you're here.
There's a lot going on with regard to this Nico and Tennessee situation and wherever he ends up. Well, one thing is certain, obviously, Team Nico didn't think this thing through, man.
No, it was acted hastily.
But it wasn't about the money. It was about the offense, remember?
Right. Yeah.
No, that was
It was about
one
the
of
offense. Andy Staples made a good point. Like, what do you mean changing the offense? Who's the head coach? Heupel. Who's the head coach in spring? Heupel. He's not changing the offense.
That's why they tell you keep a cool head before you make decisions, and
Deep
they
breath.
didn't keep a cool head. This was one of them. All right, I'm gonna show them. I'll show them. Don't go. And I guarantee they didn't think it was gonna snowball like this.
My granddad had things that stuck in my head when I was a kid. And one of them was that. He said, keep your head while everyone else is losing theirs. It'll separate you.
It will.
But one problem with that is, like, if you stay calm and everybody else around you is, like, really upset and things, then they misconstrue that
That you
it's
okay.
not important to you, which is not true.
Double that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, this is totally random.
These are life things, Babs.
Yes, but
What the hell? This is show.
That's right.
Right. But it's interesting that you brought that up because I just had a conversation with Mr. Babs this morning when we were talking about Cam Ward. And
Y'all's early morning conversations are so funny.
y'all, I need this draft to get here now.
Y'all wake up and just start talking football. It's
love
amazing.
It is accurate.
You watch NBA with your daughter at night, and then you wake up and talk football with your husband in the morning.
Is this true? Just living our best
You
lives.
slice your finger, you bump your head, you knock yourself out, the dogs wake you up.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on over there. I don't
There's
know
a
why.
lot going on at our
listen,
house.
I know that there are production companies in this town that are involved in making reality shows. Babs, I'm telling you,
You need one.
it's gold.
It's
Have cameras follow her around all day.
it's a hot mess.
Yeah. Okay, what were you going to say?
Anyway, so we were talking about, well, all this came up because I'm sure you guys saw Fran Brown talking about the head coach at Syracuse talking about you want $2 million as a wide
You want the
receiver,
quote?
right? Yeah, you hit the quote.
Yeah, Syracuse head coach Fran. I was going to do it this way a little
Wait,
bit
before
later.
that, you want the audio?
Yes,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do. So Syracuse
Okay,
coach Fran
well, I
Brown.
will circle back around to why we were talking about Cam Ward and why it matches what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
this
But
is
go ahead.
This is about Cuse wide receiver Trevor Pena entering the transfer portal.
With all due respect to everybody in the country, to every wide receiver, to everybody that's doing all this stuff, like,
Biz Marquee.
if you want to make $2 million at wide receiver, that's the little homie over at Ohio State. Ain't nobody else making that money. giving a wide receiver no $2 million, man, in college. Nah. That ain't me. I ain't doing that. I can't do it. Unless they tell me that we get a chance to have Travis Hunter, he could come back to college and he could come here and play for us, then he gonna get some of my check. But I ain't paying nobody $2,000 this year. Not to me. $2 million, whatever. I just say, yeah, we ain't giving nobody that.
So what was this an interview or a podcast?
It was an interview like on a podcast.
First of all, I love his demeanor.
I love his voice.
Dog, like all of that was like us sitting at the barbershop talking. The way he just explained that was, give me that all day long.
Y'all remember the post-game interview after Syracuse beat Miami?
It went viral.
Yeah.
It did go viral.
That was you.
Yes. Yeah. And he straight said at the end of it, he was done talking to me, but I had one more question about, like, you know, you going to shower now or whatever. But he said, answered the last question, not the shower part, and then said, all right, I'll holla at you later. And, like, that was his way of saying, all right, Dawn, I'm done. Yeah, I'm gone, you know.
Get everything I got.
Dude is hilarious.
I love it,
Like,
man.
I wish I could have made public half the stuff he said in our coaches meeting, because he's
like
something. He is recruiting gold. We're going to have him on at some point this summer, just because I want you to hear his backstory, how he grew up, how he got out of that, what he wants to do for these kids.
Defending Cam Ward also. They got the win in that game, and that was huge because Miami could have gotten in the playoff.
Yes. Oh, that is the only reason they did not get in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all that to say, you were talking about cooler heads when everybody else around you is losing it. Miami's losing. They know if they don't win this game, they're probably not in the playoff, right? Everything is on the line here. And you would have thought it was just like a preseason game for Cam Ward on that sideline. I mean, other players.
I remember you telling me about that.
Losing their minds.
I love that.
And he's so even killed, like, almost to the point where I wanted to see a little more, more emotion, but like
it doesn't mean it's not there.
It doesn't mean he doesn't care.
That was my point.
Because you talk, and that was my point. Just it made me think of that conversation I just had this morning with my husband about Cam Ward, about the even kill part.
So that's funny. You go from the extreme with Will Levis.
Will Levis ain't keeping his head, man.
No, what?
No, that thing's spinning around on his shoulders. It's like the Exorcist out there.
Yeah.
That's
and wherever his head stopped, that's where the ball goes.
Yes.
And probably as a quarterback, you want a happy medium, right?
Yes. You need some.
Probably. And who knows? I mean, maybe Will Levis will grow into that with a less emotional, and Cam Ward would grow more emotional. Who knows?
Yeah, or learn how to just. I think one of the things is when you're sitting there, you're watching the guy. Like, I've been able to watch this with coaches. For example, Todd Golden.
Yes.
At Florida. Like, he had some Will Levis in him a little bit.
Seriously.
Early on in the season, like, and you can see him on the sideline, rah-rah, and getting his guys going. And when he go to the huddle, his guys are looking at him like this. Just blank face, like, what's up, coach? All right, come on, man. Just settle down. We got you. And he's still like, come on, no, I need y'all to get going. And they like, coach, we got you.
Yeah.
He was like, no, but y'all ain't got me because I ain't got me right now. And they, coach, we got you. Then they come back and win. That's how they were the whole season. So it's weird, man. It's weird because you always say guys look in the huddle at your leader. The leader is the quarterback. So when everything's going haywire, like what you're talking about, and everybody comes to the huddle, it's 45 seconds left, and you got to drive the field, and he's sitting there calm, it puts a calm in you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So
that's true.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty dope to
anyway,
have.
it made me think of that. So back to the Nico situation.
No, stay with Cam. Because, like, listen, I can only imagine Traylon Burks going to the huddle and looking at him in the eyes and say, yeah.
Nico's kind of like that, too. Like, he's a very chill dude and not boisterous in the locker room at all, but he was always calm.
This whole situation.
That's why, it's another
his
outside source.
representation so crazy, right? Makes it even crazier. I mean, at the end of the day, you clearly thought you had more leverage. And now, of course, and you knew you were going to see this. It's almost like the NFL draft. All the reports now, people want to talk and get everything out.
Right.
So now you hear the reports from Football Scoop and John Bryce and all of that talking about how Nico wouldn't show up, left hundreds of thousands on the dollars on the table because he wouldn't show up for things he was supposed to as far as outside
that was
of
in
football.
the A to Z Sports story the
Right.
other day too. Yeah.
And so, he'd make a call to his dad, and his dad would say, no, you don't have to do that. And this is all, who knows what's true, what's accurate, what's not. But all that to say, that representation, I think, for him failed him big time. Big time.
615-737-1045. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Benjamin Mayer lived on Dorcas Court, LMAO. Adam, bless you. Yeah, I know. Also, Dorcas intersected with a street called Copeland. This is over by Harpeth Hall in Green Hills.
Yeah.
Intersected with a street called Copeland, and that's where Marsha Trimble lived, and that's one of the most notorious murders in Nashville history. And even
if you're new here, Google it.
Google it. It's fascinating. But even like 10 years later, we would see like they were still investigating, like going door to door asking people that lived there at the time. We didn't.
But
but
even like 15 years later. I mean,
it was something that we talked about a lot living there.
Were they looking for her?
Yeah, she disappeared. And then they didn't solve it for like 30 years. They just solved it not too long ago.
it's crazy.
So yeah, that was a cold case, but they were still investigating. I remember as a kid, like dudes in suits going door to door asking questions and stuff, even like 10 years later. 615-737-1045. Also, Tom on YouTube. My son played ball with Ross at Wheaton. Wheaton College getting a lot of love here today. We've got a lot to get to. Jake and Murphy, you guys will lead us off when we come back. Also, Greg Cosell coming up at 4:20. Some of the players we'll talk about with him. Wanted to hit on the quarterbacks, Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders, Jalen Milroe, that we haven't really talked about. Arkansas Edge want to revisit Landon Jackson because that could potentially be a second-round pick, theoretically, for the Titans. Ashton Genty, we haven't hit on. Mason Graham.
Did you see his Players Tribune?
Yes, and we will read that in just a little bit. He basically was like, y'all ready to win? Pick me. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Two Rivers Ford, you guys hear me talk about them all the time because my husband has a vehicle from them. I bought a truck from them. They're the best. And now, just in, Two Rivers Ford is now offering employee pricing for absolutely everybody. You, me, brother, sister, family, got a 16-year-old coming up. Guess what? You pay what they pay on almost every new Ford on the lot. And at Two Rivers Ford, what you see is always what you get. They don't tack on service packages or anything like that to increase the price of their vehicles. They're upfront, they're honest, and it's every single time. Two Rivers Ford offering you their employee pricing. No better time to buy American right now, too, right? There's no better dealership either than Two Rivers Ford. Go visit them out in Mount Juliet. Check them out online. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. And, of course, they have that non-commissioned sales team, and they are the best. They will just help you. That's the reason they're there. And now, Two Rivers Ford is the home of employee pricing for everybody. From America, for America, Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
3HL 1045, The Zone, NBA playoffs going on, and Slay Dog yesterday picked Chicago Bulls for like a half a second, and then he went Miami Heat, and then the Heat rolled.
Mm-hmm.
At least I saw the halftime score.
No, they rolled. They rolled.
Because I texted you. They were up big.
I didn't think Dallas was going to do what they did. That was pretty impressive. Sacramento just packed it on in and said, we're getting on out of here. 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045. Jake in Brentwood. Jake, what's up?
What up, my brothers and sisters?
Hi,
What
Jake.
up, Jake?
What are you doing, man?
Man, I just hit the perfect storm. The Granny White Market Perfect Storm. The Granny White Market Perfect Storm.
Oh.
Everybody with a purple skirt and shirt, FRA, CPA, Lipscomb, I don't know. They're here. And in addition, sprinkle on a Gray Line tour bus. I waited 30 minutes for a can of dip.
You really needed that dip, huh?
I think I would have given up on that.
Especially after 30 minutes. God
I
almighty.
mean, you could have just gone across the street, walked around Radnor Lake a little bit, then come back and got it.
Chill out, watching the eagles fly.
Yeah. They do have eagles over there.
One.
What do you track them, Jake?
Right.
Like,
How do you
I got
know
a
that
wife
they are
that
not
keeps-
two?
I got a wife that does.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say it's super busy out in town today for some reason. I don't know if people are getting ready to leave for the holiday weekend. Tomorrow is Good Friday. We don't have off. I know a lot of people
No, we get President's Day off,
do
but
have
not
off.
Good Friday.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
Says a lot.
every once in a while you make the mistake and you pull in, and it's the perfect storm. So that's what I've dealt with.
So you're in it, Jake. In it.
I was in it.
To win
But
it.
as soon as they come, they go. It's almost like a wave.
I love it when Jake cracks himself up.
I do too.
Have you noticed that Don laughs harder at your stuff than any of the rest of us?
This is why I didn't want to see his face. His voice is just classic.
Yeah, Jake from Brentwood called in a bunch, and then he showed up at a remote on Halloween when Dawn was like wearing this really short skirt and all this stuff. Like, she wasn't herself. And then she didn't want to look at you.
I know.
But
She didn't
now
want-
I've seen you so many times.
It's like Ross's voice. Like, nobody wants to see Ross now.
Yeah.
You know, so Ross, y'all remember Bonanza? Remember Hoss?
It's before my time, Jake.
No
I
way.
don't.
No way.
You don't remember the show Bonanza?
Not before your time.
Yes, it was.
I have no idea what you're
not the
talking
re-
about.
Okay.
There's a
not the
show called
rerun.
Bonanza. It was in the Wild West, and yeah,
What is it,
was
like 70s?
yeah. This is
I don't
what
know
I'm
when it
saying.
was then, but
You
even
never
if you're
seen Bonanza?
even if
No.
you're not old enough, you should know what it is.
Yeah, like parents and grandparents watch that all
Yeah,
the time.
my grandparents watched
like
it.
all the time.
I've never even heard of it.
Gosh. Yeah,
I'm
your
pretty
Hoss
sure I
joke
did-
is falling flat there, Jake. I don't
Sorry, Jake. That one's
it
not
wasn't
funny.
a joke. It wasn't a joke. Dude sounds like him. He sounds like Hoss.
know. Oh, you're saying Ross sounds like Hoss from
Hoss.
Bonanza.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Now I'm going to Google it.
Yeah. It's like he's kind of a simple man, and but very kind and gentle, but a big man. So
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
are we waiting on it? Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll
Hey,
Google it. I'll find it.
call us the next time you go to
Okay.
Granny White
I
Market.
love you, brother.
No.
Let us know when you're in
Hey,
it.
Jake,
again.
by the way, did you know the ends of Granny White just down the street from Granny White Market? It's
Yeah.
a neighborhood. Granny
Yes.
White, her grave is right there
Yeah,
when you
in
turn
the
into the
median.
neighborhood
Yeah. In the median.
in the median.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Granny White, the street, the
Yes.
person is there at the ends of Granny White. That is true
Yes,
story.
He's buried in the median. Yes. Buried in the median. Apparently, a little bit of a drunkard, but very kind, and like travels rest. Like opened her doors to everybody, like, "Hey, welcome in, come in." But yeah,
Apparently, a little bit of a drunkard. Is that what they're going to say about?
No, don't go there.
Listen,
show,
how many people do you know that are buried in a median, man? That's impressive stuff right there for Granny White.
Like it was that important that her grave stayed the same, that they built a street around
They
her.
built 2 streets right in on the either side of her.
I can only hope to be buried in a median.
Oh, there's your bingo card, Mayor.
See you,
Thanks,
Jake.
Jake.
Later.
All right, Jake.
Well, there was a whole lot going on with that call.
Hey, man. Dog. It's been a, what was that, 247 Sports? What was that, Zeph? Vol Scoops.
Yes, it was
Came out
247 Sports
okay.
who gave him the crystal ball.
Came out with a crystal ball from Travis Branham.
Okay. Talking about Tennessee's
Five-star power
quarterbacks.
forward. No. 5-star power forward Nate Ament. Basketball.
Oh, he played AAU ball with the guy they just signed.
Yeah,
Or
but
just committed.
forget him.
Troy, whatever.
This would be as big as like getting Kevin Durant.
Oh.
Like this would be
And the
a
crystal
huge-
ball is Vols?
Tennessee and Duke.
So his final 6 are Arkansas, Tennessee,
Y'all got the
Duke,
Boozer twins coming on.
Louisville,
Oh,
and
so he might
Kentucky.
want to go somewhere to be the guy.
It would be interesting to see him play with Cameron Boozer because both of them are power forwards, but both handle the ball. Like this is.
Hey, Don,
Lord
did you know
have mercy.
Ross is a Duke fan as well?
I did not. I knew I liked him.
This is the
wow.
Ross show right here.
I can't say Duke, mother. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn his mic off now.
That's so funny that you said that. My guy Bill King, when I got in the business, I worked with Bob Bell and Bill King. Bill King used to say that all the time. He wasn't even a Duke fan. He just liked saying that. Duke, and
Oh,
Wow,
boy.
y'all. I don't know if we understand
save
how
that for
big
the
this
break.
is, boy. This
See, I didn't know who that was because I'm not into the basketball recruiting world like obviously you are.
Yeah.
But I read that yesterday when they signed, what was that guy's name? Troy what? McClure?
Henderson.
Henderson, yeah. Troy Henderson. Troy
Close.
McClure was on The Simpsons. Troy
Close,
Henderson played AAU ball with that guy. I read that yesterday.
Hey,
Brandon
man.
in the chat said, and when Travis Branham gives a crystal ball, he normally is not wrong.
And that's so to his point, like what we just said, with Duke having 2 of the Boozer twins coming in and Cameron being a dog, like
You think
it's kind
he
of the
might
same
want to go
position.
elsewhere?
Almost
because,
the same
yeah.
position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But talent like to be around talent as well. So
Yeah, because then you can go win a championship in
Yeah.
1 year and then go make your money.
or
in
you
the
could be
NBA.
like go down and just sweep all the awards and go to a Final Four, take a team that has never been there.
Remember, Duke Cruz was looking at, he went to Tennessee, obviously, but was looking at Duke and Tennessee. I always thought he should have gone to Duke because then he would have had Duke on the front of the jersey and Cruz on the back of his
No,
jersey.
he did right now. No, this is huge, man.
That would have been fun, though. Duke Cruz, he's got his name on his jersey.
This is a top 5 pick.
Back to what Ross
No
said
question.
with the Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all ever noticed sometimes, like when Duke comes up, I say Duke.
I've never noticed that.
Well, that's why is because I've got that entrenched in my head. I just don't complete it like Ross tried to.
I know.
That'd
Do
be-
we need to train Ross on FCC guidelines real
I was going
quick?
to say, man, it'd be tough to get fired while you're training.
How you gonna get fired as a new guy? How you gonna get fired on your first day?
It's not his first day. He's
I
been here
know.
for like 2 months.
Hey,
I know, but
this
this
first time
is
we
his
heard him.
first day on 3HL.
First time we heard
No,
from him.
he's been here since
No, on
Monday.
the air.
We never heard
Zeph.
from him.
This is the first time we've heard on
Zeph,
air.
Just let her go.
Just let me go. What is wrong with you? I will take you down, Zephyr.
Well,
I'm trying to prop you up.
get in line because people in the chat already want my job.
That's right.
Murphy will lead us off when we come back if you want in. NCAA has approved a change regarding injury timeouts. Lane Kiffin's not going to like this. What?
Also, real quick, Nick Suss from the Tennessean with a great tweet talking about the Titans and where their roster is when you're looking at the drafts, former drafts. Oi, 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 oi.
Yes, that's a great stat. Remember to bring that up when we come back. I don't want to let that one go.
I'm on it.
But, yeah. Also, they say that they can hear the show online and they can actually hear NPF packing his bags. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, interest rates have plummeted, and it is time for you to call Loan Pronto. Maybe you want to get cash out of your home equity. Maybe you want to refinance out of a high rate, which if you bought a home in the last couple of years, you definitely need to do that. Or maybe you want to do a home improvement project like we did. We put a pool in the backyard, and Loan Pronto is who helped us to make it happen, and they'll do it in a matter of days. Get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off your credit cards, pay off your car loans, whatever you want to do with the cash. The average homeowner right now is cutting monthly bills by $1,000. LoanPronto.com. You can start the whole process there. Don't even have to talk to anybody right away if you don't want to. And they have multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you want. And most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks and don't even need an appraisal. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at Loan Pronto. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com at 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Good afternoon. It is 4:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. The Titans have released offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere, a former 2022 third-round pick who started 28 games over the last 3 seasons. The Titans also freed up $3.65 million against the cap at a cost of just $239,000 of dead money. The team also announced the signing of 3 offensive linemen, including Sam Mustipher, Brendan James, and Ollie Uda. Memphis basketball hit hard today by the transfer portal as stars P.J. Haggerty and Dane Danger are expected to enter the transfer portal. Haggerty, a second-team All-American, averaged 21.7 points per game as a sophomore. Danger averaged 14.8 points per game. And 5-star power forward Nate Ament has received a crystal ball to go to Tennessee from Travis Branham of 247 Sports. Ament is currently ranked the number 2 power forward and number 4 player nationally on 247 Sports. For your foundation of prayer, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bring news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 is over at Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It has turned cloudy out there. No chance of rain, but where'd the sun go, y'all?
I thought there was a chance of rain today.
No, 0.
What is it, tomorrow?
Nope, 0.
This weekend?
Nope.
No, I got to be this weekend.
I think Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday, sunny, 85, I think, if I remember correctly from looking at this. Yeah, it's 78 degrees right now. So 80 today, 85 tomorrow, 85 Saturday, and even Sunday is 15% chance of rain. It's Monday when it comes in. And we're back down from 87 to 73.
And it sounds like I brought Aruba back home with me. That's what the weather was like in Aruba all week.
85?
85 every day.
Love it.
No rain either.
Aruba,
that was
Jamaica.
awesome.
Yeah. Did you have any drinks in Aruba?
A lot.
Quite a few, Zeph.
Quite a few.
Were you at an all-inclusive place?
We were, but we didn't do all-inclusive. We just don't drink enough. Plus, we went off the resort to go eat and stuff, so it wasn't worth it. But
I got you. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is. She's Dawn Davenport.
What up, Babsy?
Happy Thursday.
Executive producer of 3HL is F-Dog.
What's up?
Slay is here.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
So if Tennessee basketball could get Ament, is that how you pronounce it? Ament? That would be a big,
I think
that would be a big deal.
Yeah, huge deal. Huge. Beyond huge.
Like stud.
Yeah, like top 5 pick.
Oh.
He is 6'9", 185 pounds. So when Slay puts that Katie comparison out there, he looks the part at least.
Yeah, this is be big.
I always heard that KD was really 7 feet, but he didn't want to be listed at 7 feet. That he wanted to be listed at 6'10".
Probably.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, regardless, he's a dog.
Is that the only position that you would ever want to be shorter than your actual height?
Yeah, like stretch.
Right.
Like,
well, for a time,
Except
power
for a
forwards were
NASCAR
getting paid
driver.
more than
Guards.
when there were actual positions listed for people?
Yeah, power forwards were getting paid more than centers at times, and then they was getting paid more than stretch guys were getting paid. Threes were getting paid more than guards.
And, man, he could shoot it from outside. I mean, from the jump.
So that could have been something. Who knows?
3HL 615-737-1045. Again, the latest news on Nico Iamaleava. A lot of people say it's a done deal to UCLA. Today, Chris Lowe reported that the two sides are in discussion, but that nothing has been finalized, so we're still waiting on that. I said we go to Murphy. He wants to talk about Cam Ward. Murphy, what's up?
Murph Dog?
Man, I don't know. I guess what I learned today is I can run over Grandma a couple more times a day. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she's over there, man.
She's in the median.
I'm a little upset about yesterday's show.
Why?
I know 35 VFL will have my back when I say this, and I'm getting a little emotional.
Ooh.
That's my quarterback.
Terrell Owens.
You're getting emotional. Huh?
He's gone.
That was all he wanted to say.
That was good.
Yeah. He's worried about running over Granny White's grave, and I'm emotional about my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
Yeah, sometimes it hits.
35's got my back. Do you have his back?
Yeah, I'm rolling with him.
Okay.
That's our quarterback.
By the way,
until he's not.
Of course, I looked up Granny White. Her name was Lucinda. She came from North Carolina as a widow. She stopped at Knoxville but kept going. Knoxville wasn't good enough, I guess. Somebody gave her like 40 acres of land, so she built an inn and a tavern. And they said that Andrew Jackson, John Bell, you know the Bell Cave?
Like the Bell Witch?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sam Houston, all these guys stayed there and had drinks. The things you know. You said Titans draft picks. This
Thanks,
is a
Mayor.
great indication of why the roster is where the roster is. This from Nick Suss.
Sus. By the way, I love Suss's last name.
Yeah, he's so sus.
He's so sus.
That's
How many
not
times
what-
do you think he's had to deal with that?
I know, as a
Over and
reporter.
over.
You don't want to
Yeah.
be sus as a reporter.
Right,
That ain't going to work.
in this new generation here.
Yeah, for the older listeners like us, the younger people say that
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah. Okay, Nick Suss. With NPF's release, the Titans now only have three of 23 players drafted between 2020 and 2022 on the roster. The only team with a lower percentage of 2022 picks still on the roster is Arizona. The teams with the highest percentage, here you go, boys, of 2022 picks, Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati. Those are
So-
four pretty successful franchises.
And where did Borgante come from? Kansas City.
Kansas
That's
City.
why he says we want to do it through the draft. You just gave the reason.
Yep, and
Right there.
Suss just finished it. Finished it with drafting matters.
So who are the three players?
Oh well.
Well, not Nicholas Petit Frere. We know that.
Roger McCreary, Traylon Burks, and
2020 to 2022.
is that what it was?
Yeah, that's
2022. So Roger McCreary, Traylon Burks.
Jeff was before that.
What are you
No.
talking about, trade?
No, who's,
No, who's
still
the
there?
three?
Who's-
There's
who are the
three-
three of the 23 players drafted from 2020 to 2022 that are still there?
See, I like how Suss did a story, but also had a riddle.
What, drafting matters?
No, but like didn't tell you who the three are. So that riddle me this:
Oh,
who are the
Chig.
three players?
It's Chig.
Chig.
It's Traylon Burks,
yep.
Chig, and Roger McCreary. And they were all in that 2022.
2022. And also,
So none before.
So
that.
none before 2022 were on this team.
Yeah.
also, Burks
I'll
is
tell you something.
questionable. I'm sorry. Don't get your panties
not
in
for
a
me and Cam
wad.
Ward. Not for me and Cam Ward. It's not.
Burks is questionable. I just told you not to get your panties in a wad, and you said nothing.
I just said.
I hate the word panties too.
Thank
Like,
you.
what a terrible word.
What would you rather call them?
Yeah. that's-
Underwear.
nah.
What do you call them?
Dun, 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 yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like superhero. Da-da-da-da.
Right. That.
I'd never heard that. That was a good one.
That's
that
what it
day
was.
on the show. Never know what's going to happen on 3HL. You have
So- What
you
the
have
hell?
words added to your vocabulary.
What the hell?
Yes.
They might not be real words.
What
He
the
did
hell?
provide a spreadsheet. Somebody asked where the somebody asked where Philly was.
Oh. What about Amani Hooker? Wasn't he in that range?
He was before. He was in Jeff Simmons in that 2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
He was before.
in Nick Suss's range was 2020 to 2022. Only the 2022 players are still there, and there's only three of them, and only one of them
All right.
really.
So he provided so it's 2020, 2021, and 2022, which 2021 would have been COVID, right?
Yeah.
Which did not go well for the Titans at all. Okay, so the highest percentage, 63.64%, are the Chiefs.
That was the Isaiah Wilson draft, right?
Yes.
The COVID draft.
Lord have
That
mercy.
was a
Where they couldn't bring him in?
debacle. Which supposedly that is one of the excuses for how they missed on him, because you couldn't do anything in person. Everything was done over Zoom.
What
But
was,
still, it's
wild time.
crazy what a miss that was.
from North
It's
Dakota
nuts.
State. What's the guard
Dylan Radens?
Dylan Raiders? What draft was he? 21.
Dylan Radens was 2021 second round pick.
Remember his
Oh,
story
so-
was
He gone.
was,
Yeah.
was he South Dakota State? North Dakota.
Dakota State.
North
yeah.
Dakota
Do you
State.
remember? I have an issue with
Yes, you do.
Trey Lance was the quarterback. They only played one game in 2 years.
Yep.
Yes.
Remember that? So he not only did he
Because of
play at that
COVID.
level, he only played one game in 2 years and then went to the NFL.
Yeah.
Talk about
So-
a jump, man.
Successful teams. There are some AFC Souths, by the way, in this time period. The highest percentage: Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Bengals, Texans,
Right.
Saints, Cowboys, Colts, which maybe is a bad thing that they're still on the roster. Lions, Dolphins, Bucks, Niners, Giants, Seahawks, Jags, Jets.
Catch a Niner in there.
Yep. So Philly's not even on that list. How about that?
No Philly. Philly.
There you go.
Greg Cosell coming up, speaking of draft and needing to do well 1 week from today. Nick says we are Malik Willis days away from drafting Cam Ward as Titans franchise quarterback on YouTube. We'll talk more about this later, but I mentioned the NCAA has approved a change regarding injury timeouts. Ole Miss definitely going to be affected. Under
They
the new
calling
rule.
it the Lane Kiffin rule?
You might as well. Under the new rule, if medical personnel enter the field to evaluate an injured player after the ball is spotted by the officiating crew for the next play, that player's team will be charged a timeout. If the team does not have any timeouts remaining, a 5-yard delay of game penalty will be assessed.
Couple years late, but let's get it.
I also think coaches would rather have the option of losing a timeout or 5 yards. I think a lot of coaches would be like, "Hey man, give me the penalty. I want my timeout."
Yeah, but So you saying them get to choose?
I'm saying, I'm saying coaches would probably want the choice.
That's probably why they didn't do it.
Yeah, don't give them a choice, yeah.
The injury timeout proposal was made by the NCAA Football Rules Committee after many in the college football community raised concerns about strategies in which players fake an injury to stop the opposition's momentum or to avoid using an allotted timeout. Tennessee does it too. Tennessee does it weirdly during extra point attempts.
Yes. That scrum is a little harder to see.
Happens all the time. All right, when we come back, Greg Cosell breaking down some draft prospects. We get 2 visits prior to the draft. This is one of them. That's next through HL 104.5 The Zone. Man, we've had so much rain over the last couple of weeks, and you might have some waterproofing issues with your home. United Structural Systems is here to help. As I talk with you about them, you can go online and check them out at USSTN.com. Waterproofing. Some of the symptoms, standing water in your crawl space, maybe you have a musty odor or your floor joists have wood rot, cracks in your basement flooring, hardwood floors cupping, your house may be trying to tell you something. Putting off a moisture issue in your home is bad for your health and could lead to more expensive repairs down the road. Why is your home wet? You may be wondering. Well, poor drainage, surface water floods over walls, underground pressure forces water into the basement. Water seeps through walls. There are all kinds of ways this happens, but the solution is easy. USS, United Structural Systems, they can help you out. Over 30,000 100% satisfied residential customers, and they can help you. Homeowners trust USS, keeping homes dry and stable. We guarantee our best. Call USS. USS guarantees their best. USS, serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. Call 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855 or online, USSTN.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. The executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
So Zeph has informed us that we're bringing back Throat Punch Thursday here in a little bit.
I've been wanting to bring this back for about a month now, but Thursdays have been a little busy lately. So
Is the reason because you love the intro that you put together for it?
I love it.
And,
I do too.
We had a caller call in a few months, or probably 2.5 months ago now. It might have been 3 months ago at this point, and said he was going to throat punch a Florida fan that he knows.
No, Kentucky.
Or Kentucky fan, that's right. It was a Kentucky fan. And it just kind of gave me the idea, hey, we need to bring that back.
It was his friend, too.
He told me during the break, and then y'all were coming back in, and he was like, "We need to tell Don and Slay." I was like, "No, you don't. They'll think of something." Yeah, they're quick thinkers over here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, I need some time.
So, also, chat.
Not a quick thinker.
Chat, get your submissions ready. We'll take your submissions in the chat as well, and on the phone maybe.
So we'll do that at 4:45. Throat Punch Thursday. Greg Cosell joins us now as he does every Thursday at 4:20. Greg, 1 week away from the first round of the NFL Draft. How are you feeling?
Well, I'll let you know in a couple of weeks.
Are you still grinding tape, or are you done? You good?
I'm still grinding tape. Believe me. I mean, there's always guys to watch, and I always feel like I have to watch as many guys as I possibly can. So I'm still grinding pretty good. I'll be doing that. Probably be doing that till I come down and see you guys.
That'll be great. So first round, obviously, next Thursday. We will be broadcasting live at Nissan Stadium for the Titans festivities over there, where they will obviously take Cam Ward. Somebody did in the chat say, what's Dawn going to do? Is her head going to explode if they trade back and don't take him?
Yes. The answer is
Why,
hell
you think
yes.
that's a possibility?
I mean, if somebody delivers a ransom, like a historic deal, I think they could. But it has to be like
3 first rounders.
Yeah.
3 first rounders.
I don't have any inside information, obviously, and I don't necessarily worry about that. But I would think, and you guys are there every day talking to fans, and I would think it'd be hard to go into this season, selling what they have now. I think that would be problematic for fans.
What a politically acceptable way of saying their quarterback room is not good.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Great job.
Here, I'll say it not politically correct. If they march Will Levis out as the starter, this city will burn.
With Boyle and Brandon Allen as the backups?
Yeah, I mean, that's just my sense. My sense is you bring in an entirely new personnel department, and they can't go in with the same quarterback room.
Speaking of quarterbacks, let's hit on some guys that we haven't talked with you about. Jalen Milroe, interesting storyline here. He's been invited to the NFL draft. He has accepted. Yep. They have said they want to stay away from Will Levis situations where guys are there multiple days. What does the tape of Jalen Milroe show you?
It's funny. I mean, this year, a lot of people automatically said that he wasn't as good as he was in 2023. And I watched the tape, obviously, from this year, and I watched him last summer from 2023. And I actually thought in 2023 that there were some clearly defined issues in his tape. And then I watched his tape this year, and it struck me that I think a lot of people said that he wasn't as good this year because he missed some deep balls, whereas in 2023, he hit a lot of deep balls. But I actually thought his 2024 tape showed meaningful improvement as a pocket quarterback. Now, he is really dynamic as a runner. And you know what? That now means something in the NFL game for multiple reasons. Number one, it changes the way defenses have to play because they have to account for the quarterback as a designed runner in the run game. And also, you get into the red zone, you're 20 yards and in, and the quarterback run game really becomes a major deal. Just look at the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. So I'm not suggesting Milroe's going to step right in and be a quality starter from day one, but I thought that this year he actually showed a little more patience and poise in the pocket. I thought he was a little more refined, playing with timing and rhythm and delivering the ball to the right receiver. I thought there was some improvement in his game and in the areas that matter. So we'll see. He's one of those guys that I think will be all over draft boards. It wouldn't surprise me if he's a late first-round pick, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's a third-round pick.
Wow. That's an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
1 week out. Some Bama friends of mine were constantly complaining that he wasn't running enough this year. So I think that goes to your point where he was trying to keep his eyes down the field.
Yeah, he's a dynamic runner. There's no question. He is explosive. He's dynamic. He's got a great, body. I mean, he's solidly built. But, obviously he needs more than that to be a quality NFL quarterback. But that is a factor. And we see in the NFL, what a big factor it is now for guys, not only in the quarterback designed run game, but in their ability to scramble. It's a factor. And it's a factor not just because of the pure talent, but because it changes the way defenses have to play.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn's absolute favorite guy in the draft, I'm going to ask you about now. Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. What is the film? I'm being sarcastic.
Well, as I recall, Dawn is not a big fan.
No.
I am not.
That is well said, Greg. Yes, she is not a big fan of Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
What does the film say about him or show you?
Yeah, I mean, I kept going back and forth with Dart. He was one of those guys that, I kind of struggled with. I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, just as to what I thought of him in terms of projecting and transitioning him to the league. Don't forget, he played in the same offense for 3 years. It was pretty evident from his tape that he was very, very comfortable in Lane Kiffin's offense. I mean, he knew the schematics of it. It's a no-huddle tempo offense. More often than not, it eliminated pre-snap research of the defense. It was more of an emphasis on rhythmic primary reads than progression concepts, and he did a really good job in it. I think there's a toughness and competitiveness to the kid that showed up in all phases. He threw the ball from the pocket in the face of pressure. He didn't flinch. He's certainly a plus athlete. I don't think he has a big arm. So I kept going back and forth on him, and he certainly has a very, very limited experience with the pre-snap phase of the game and the progression reading phase of the game. So, I think those things do take time. A lot of people, of course, are making the comparison to Bo Nix from what Nix did a year ago. And Nix was very fortunate to go to Sean Payton, who's one of the best in the league. So I think Dart can be a quality starter. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with him.
It's funny, some of these quarterbacks, man, with the wide range of where they could end up draft-wise, because, the Saints brought him in, to work him out.
There's enough, let's put it this way, there's enough there on tape that a team could easily say, hey, we can make this guy into a quality starter. And then I guarantee there's other teams that say, no, he's a third-round pick. He's another guy like that in this draft. But it's the quarterback position, and you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're willing to take a chance on one
if
you think you can develop him. Another guy that has bounced up and down draft board and stock has risen and fallen is Shedeur Sanders. And, now his jersey is going to be hanging in the rafters there in Colorado, which is nuts for just the record alone there. But what do you see on tape with him as far as skill set translating to the NFL?
Well, it's funny. I had a great talk with Darius Butler today because we shot our draft matchup show today at Films. It'll air Monday night. It has 2 airings on Monday night on ESPN and ESPN2. So hopefully people will watch that.
Yeah.
He's another guy that I watched him for 3 straight years. I watched him after the 2022 season from Jackson State. I watched him last summer in his first year at Colorado. And then I watched him, of course, this year. There's a lot to like about Sanders. But there's also things that clearly need to be cleaned up. But there is a lot to like. And he throws a really good ball. He's an easy thrower. He doesn't have a big arm, but he's an easy thrower. He's a natural thrower. He's kind of an over-the-top thrower, which you don't see very much these days. His ball placement, for the most part, is precise. I would call that a strength of his game. I would say predominantly he's a pocket quarterback. He's not a statue. He's not immobile. But if he's to be a really good NFL quarterback, he's going to have to be a pocket quarterback. So now you get into his feel for the nuances and the details of the position. And I think these are some areas where he's good and some areas where he needs work. He tends to hold the ball too long. When he does move, he has a tendency to retreat backwards. Those are things that need to be cleaned up. He has a tendency to hold the ball with one hand when he perceives pressure. That's going to have to be cleaned up. It's funny. I mentioned Darius because I said to him today, I said, how do you compare him to someone like C.J. Stroud, who's also at his core a pocket quarterback? And Darius turned to me, which I agree 1,000% with, and he said, "Oh, he's not at that level." So, I think he's a good prospect. And I think that if he's, again, you could say this about most quarterbacks, because I've said this and all I hear, here on Twitter is, well, you could say that about everybody. Well, I know that, but some quarterbacks more than others. He's clearly the kind of quarterback that needs the rest of the team to be good. He can't be the guy. Like he's not going to be in the Josh Allen mode. He's not going to be in the Patrick Mahomes mode. He's not going to be that guy. He's going to be more along the lines of, think Kirk Cousins in his prime with the Vikings. And by the way, for 4 or 5 years in a row, Cousins threw 35 touchdowns and 10 picks every year. If you told a team drafting Shadir Sanders he would do that for 5 years in a row, they'd say, thank you, we'll take him. Mm-hmm. So, but that's, to me, more the kind of quarterback he would be.
Okay, that makes sense. Somebody in our chat was asking about Will Howard and why maybe he's not being talked about more. What are the weaknesses there?
Yeah.
Probably saw what I saw.
Will Howard's a really interesting guy because there's a lot to like about his game. I mean, I watched him at Kansas State last summer too. I think the thing that concerns people with Will Howard is there are some arm strength limitations to drive the ball with higher level velocity. He doesn't have a weak arm, but if you watch Ohio State, there were not a lot of throws down the field. He made a couple that were really, really good. Look, if a guy plays, 16 games, of course he's going to make some throws. That's just, it's like when you talk about NFL quarterbacks and you say, guy's not a great thrower, and somebody says, what about that throw? Well, of course there's going to be some good throws. Even a 210 hitter in baseball hits some home runs. There's going to be some good plays. He ran a really well-schemed offense and passing game. Don't forget it was Chip Kelly at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And Chip Kelly did a great job of really defining things for Will Howard really clearly. I mean, Howard is poised. He's patient. He's a big kid. There's a run element to him. I wouldn't call him a playmaker, but he can move. I think that the arm strength, and again, you don't need a gun in this league, but arm strength is one of those funny things. It's like insurance. You don't need it till you need it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just not sure if that's good enough for him to be a true quality starter in the league.
That makes sense.
It does.
Greg Cosell with us from the NFL Network. Again, NFL matchup coming up on Monday night, ESPN, ESPN2. Also, the install. You and Buck made an announcement today on the Buck Rising Show. Titans head coach Brian Callahan will be on the stage with you guys May 2nd at the Analog at the Hutton Hotel. For tickets, 1045thezone.com. That's going to be fun.
It's a big get right there.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to being with Coach Callahan. Hopefully I can learn some stuff that night too. And by the way, Brent, also, the other thing I wanted to mention, because you know me, I'm not a great self-promoter, but I did a draft guide this year. There's about almost 200 guys. It just came out today. It's the 33rd team because I was their draft guy. Oh. So that just came out today. So
why didn't you tell us this sooner, Cosell?
Secrets, that's one reason I've been grinding, Dawn. I'm still going to grind because I love it and I just want to see as many guys as I can. But I had to get that done. Hey, I've been working 7 days a week since like last August 15th,
Ooh, you're going to need a party here in Nashville after your install.
Right, and you said last week that same line, you've been working 7 days a week, but you failed to tell us some of the things you've got going on. But so how do people get the draft guide, Cosell?
I guess they go to the 33rd team. I believe that it's I believe it's a pay thing, but not a ton of money from what I understand. They put it out at half price. I think it's $5. And it's close to 200 players. And it's a lot of detail because that's, because I told him, I said, look, I type out a lot of stuff. It's a lot of detail. And, let's not reduce it to like 4 bullet points. Let's put in the detail because that's what I do. And I think it's really important to see the detail, to see the process, because I'm one of those guys when I do this, I'm not one of those guys, as you guys know, that says, well, he stinks or he's good. There's so many different variables and different potential outcomes. And I try to work through all that.
Yeah, we don't do that either, Cosell. You
Yeah,
fit in well
we
with
don't
us.
want to do that.
Here it is. They're calling it the Tape Notebook, a draft guide by Greg Cosell.
Oh, yeah, we're ordering
There
that.
you go.
Yeah, we're in. We're in on this. This is great.
Awesome. Well, good. If you guys could help promote it, it would be awesome.
Oh,
We just did,
yeah,
Cosell.
we'd love to do it.
Well, that's one time, Don. You got it multiple times.
Well, you just told us.
Yeah, we would have promoted
Well, I know.
it earlier
Yeah,
if we
all right,
knew.
enough of that. I hate talking about myself like that. So let's go on.
Hey, well, I will say I'm sure the only reason Callie agreed to do this install with you guys is because of you. We know it's not because of Buck. I mean, come on. So well done getting Callie on.
I'm hoping. Like I said, I hope to talk to him before. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow, so I hope to talk to him before then. I was telling Buck that I'm really interested in the process. That's what fascinates me. Let's assume they draft Cam Ward. What fascinates me is, okay, you get him day one when you walk out there in shorts and a T-shirt or whatever you're allowed to do day one. I don't even know those rules. What's the process? How do you go about teaching him? What do you start with? What's day one? What's day two? How do you work through it so that he's comfortable playing? Because obviously he's not going to know everything in his first year in the league. I've had coaches tell me it's a 3-year process. That doesn't mean you can't be successful in year one, but it's a 3-year process to really understand everything, because not only do you have to understand every nuance and subtlety and detail of your offense, but you have to understand every nuance, subtlety, and detail of the defenses that you play against. And then the adjustments and the checks and the audibles. There's so much, that takes a lot of time. So I'm fascinated by how all that gets taught. So you're just not overloading a guy to the point where he can't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he says he and Ridley are going to be like Montana and Rice. So he's good.
Well, you know what? Oh, that's great that he feels that way. He should feel that way.
That's right. That's right. Greg Cosell with us, NFL Films, also NFL Matchup again Monday night. The show with Darius Butler. And
Can't wait,
Cosell. ESPN, ESPN2.
We'll see you live and direct, brother. Now,
there you go. There you go.
Let me ask you about Landon Jackson, too, real quick before you get out of here, Cosell.
Love him. One of my favorite guys that I watched in the draft. One of my absolute favorite guys. Slay just put on the tape against Will Campbell from LSU, who could well be a top 10 pick. He ate up Will Campbell on numerous snaps. And I really like Landon Jackson a lot. And I'm really curious to see where he gets drafted. It's just kind of normal to look at a guy who's that long and think, well, he's not explosive and he's not, he's not sudden. And I wouldn't say he's sudden like, Myles Garrett is sudden, but he's, the guy I compared him to. And again, this is when this guy came out. And that's the important point to remember, Slay.
Yeah.
I'm comparing him to this player when this player came out of college, not what this player is now. He reminded me of Max Crosby when Crosby came out of college. And by the way, Crosby was a 4th or 5th round pick.
Yep.
He's obviously turned into a superstar. But I remember watching Crosby when he came out. And of course, he only weighed about 245, I think, when he came out. But that's Landon Jackson's tape reminded me of Crosby coming out of college.
I hope we can steal him somehow.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, potential at 35.
I really like him a lot. I mean, I think that again, I think people are going to look hard at that tape against Will Campbell because he had really good snaps against Will Campbell.
Love it, Cosell. When we visit with you next week on draft day, we'll ask again about Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, the big three up there. So we'll do that. We're looking forward to it. And the install May 2nd at the Analog at the Hutton Hotel. Tickets 1045thezone.com. Titans head coach Brian Callahan will be on stage with Buck and Cosell. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys always. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Cosell.
When we come back, Throat Punch Thursday. You got any nominations? Let us know. 615-737-1045.
Look at that. Good stuff there. Also, good stuff from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. When it's time to upgrade your windows and your doors, you definitely want to do it before summer, by the way. Help those cooling bills in your home. Then you need to call Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Pella is celebrating 100 years in the business this year. Founded back in 1925, which means you know they're doing things right. Family-oriented, family-first business, and they mean it. And they're the best. I have replaced a ton of windows and doors in my rental property and my home with Pella, and the entire thing has been amazing. They've been great to work with. We love our windows and doors, and Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is here to help you out and here to give you a deal, the Dawn deal. How about 55% off qualifying installations and no interest if paid in full within 12 months. No promo payments due. Plus, you get an additional $250 off of your project. All you have to do is say, give me the Dawn deal. She told me to. Schedule your free consultation. Go visit them, PellaNashville.com.
What's happening, y'all? I got to tell you about BDIL. Who is that? Those initials stand for something. That's Bart Durham Injury Law. Now, when it comes to trucks out here, messing up people and, trying to run around, and then them big insurance companies coming and fighting you, and you probably thinking, this is unfair. You're right. It is unfair. That's why you let Bart Durham Injury Law handle it. You ever thought about what happens when that 80,000-pound truck collides with a regular car? Just like sitting in that courtroom. It's an unfair fight. What else is not a fair fight? What I told you, them versus the insurance companies. You better believe trucking companies have teams of lawyers working to pay you as little as possible. That's why Bart Durham Injury Law steps right in. Blair Durham and the team know how to take care of the trucking companies and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's been standing up for people in our community for decades, making sure big corporations don't get away with cutting corners. So you call this number, 615-242-9000, 615-242-9000. That is Bart Durham Injury Law, protecting the injured, fighting for what's right because you deserve to be paid.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Man, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us every day. If you're new to the show, welcome.
Who the hell am I to
If you're not, let everybody know about us.
Oh, this is Jelly Roll. You love Jelly
my
Roll.
guy. Shout out Jelly Roll. What up, Jelly? God, I need a favor.
I was wondering if you would call him Jelly or Roll. Mr. Roll?
No. Jelly. What up, Jelly?
Did you guys see? We'll get to Throat Punch Thursday. If you've got something for us to submit, Joey and Cross Plains will lead us off. Zeph says he has one as well. Before we get to that, 615-737-1045. Andy Staples retweeted this. Prairie View A&M's head coach. He wrote a few things to understand when we recruit you out of the portal. Okay, You ready?
Prairie View
A&M. Number one, when I follow you, there is a 4-hour window for you to follow me back or we're done.
I respect that. Totally respect that.
Number two, send your number, transcripts, and highlight in the first message.
All right, let's get it on over with. I can dig that.
Advance the process.
No waiting and playing, No waiting and playing around.
Number three, and this is the one that Andy Staples loved. He said, make sure you address my staff as coach and not bro or by first and last name.
Dude, I tell you what, if they doing bros, yeah, I probably don't want to come get you anyway.
Make sure you address my staff as coach and not bro.
Yeah, you ain't got no manners or nothing, dog. This is an adult you talking to. Hey, bro. Hey, I'm not your bro. I had to tell LaRon that one time. Man told me, call me bro one time.
He told you, bro.
I ought to hit you in your chest. Then I'm going to be your bro. Like, what? I'm not your damn bro.
Dad. Pops.
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, you can get cool and say pops. Big Slay or something if we laughing, but other than that, no.
Do you get unk from anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. I got nephews.
Yeah. No, what I mean.
Oh, you're just saying.
That's kind of a word.
Oh,
anyway.
no, yeah.
It's not bro in our house, it's bruh.
Bros,
Bruh.
too. Yeah.
I think that is a perfect segue into the return of this.
Okay. Wasn't
That
done,
was going to
but
make
okay.
sure we get that in.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the Prairie View A&M coach with a little throat punch. Number 4 on his list, don't ask me for NIL, which we do have. When PFF has you taking less than 200 snaps on the year, you should have gotten your bag from them. Now it's time to play. And number 5, pray. Talk to your family, girlfriend, dog, and any other people before we offer you, not after you take 80 visits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to want to know ASAP.
I ain't mad at that at all.
We look forward to speaking with you soon. Go Panthers.
That's stated on
I ain't
business.
mad. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I can get right. I can get right with it.
All right,
I like
Zeph.
it.
Zeph, you wanted the return of Throat Punch Thursday. What is your submission?
The spring transfer portal, as a whole, it's stupid. It's annoying. I wish all this stuff would have happened back in, December when teams could have had a chance to go get a quarterback and all this drama wasn't very last minute and teams aren't scrambling. I think it's dumb. Get rid of it.
And this is so dumb.
And that is so dumb.
I like it.
Babs,
That's a
do you
good
have
throat
one?
punch.
Or-
I mean, my throat punch is the absolute most obvious throat punch Thursday ever.
What you got, Babs?
That would go to Nico's dad, Nick.
Oh,
Great.
Throat.
I thought she was
Punch.
going Chad Baker
I
Mazara.
thought it was going to be a 25-year-old guard.
I was going to until Slay said, well, maybe it was a, hey, why don't you look elsewhere? So then I felt bad. Like I couldn't throat punch him when, Bruce already throat punched him.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Nico's dad, Nick, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're making life difficult on your kid. That is not what you're supposed to do as a parent.
He's trying to do what he thinks is best for his kid.
No, that's
I'm just
Shiano.
saying he's trying.
I
This is
don't
what he
think he's
thinks.
trying. He's trying to do what's best for himself and his family. What he needs to do is let his kid excel.
Yeah.
And let his kid mature and grow up to be able to be a 20-year-old that can make decisions on his own. I get it. Family, how the family dynamic is set up, whatever.
I'm with you.
I'm throat punching you because you are taking away from the growth of your son with what you and the agent are doing behind the scenes. Throat punch.
Nice. So this doesn't have anything to do with that.
Stunting the growth.
Yeah,
Stunting is the word I want.
Necessarily, but I did hear a travel baseball coach a long time ago around my circle say, I always tell parents, turn your kid over to the process for himself. Turn it over to his experience.
Guide.
You stand over there.
Guide.
And love your kid when he gets in the car after the game, no matter what happens.
But don't stunt the growth.
Yep.
Sway Dog, you got anything?
It'll be a hard life.
I'm thinking, because I got one, but I ain't got one.
Ross has one. Let's hear Ross's voice again. If you're new to the show, Ross is training, and everyone loves his voice. This is where we are.
Or just me.
Yeah, many who know me know that I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I love him. He's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to him yet, but yes.
And hearing about this meeting where he flew across the country to meet with Aaron Glenn and attempt to come back to the Jets, I guess you could say. And 20 seconds in, Aaron Glenn asks him if he wants to play. He says yes, and Aaron Glenn says, we're going a different direction. This is why the Jets are the Jets.
It was actually the GM that said that.
I mean, this is why the Jets are the Jets.
But so the Aaron Rodgers point, remember when this happened? We're like, why did he fly all the way across the country to get told that they're going in a different direction? And we equated it to, well, they wanted to break up with him in person instead of like Davenport.
Through text.
Or Post-it note.
Or Post-it note, yeah.
Like Davenport.
For those
experience.
that don't know, I did once get dumped with a Post-it note.
She was in the shower, came out of the shower, dude's gone, Post-it note there, I'm out.
Yep.
Basically. Tried to get back in though, didn't he?
Oh, like a million times.
Yeah, but you had already cleansed yourself. That's why you went inside.
I'm like, dude, you're dead.
You're gone.
That's horrible. Add him to the throat punch list.
Yeah, he's
Ross didn't know that story, and when you said it, he looked over and went, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't.
I think he called in the show like
he did
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but don't call in again. Not
Yeah.
the time.
If you've listened to the show for a long time, I think some of the dudes that are listening can be like, I kind of can understand, like, dude not wanting to be there for the reaction when he tells her that he's going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Because that
That's
could have
true.
gotten ugly.
That could have been ugly. Especially, we had just gone to a friend's wedding, too. Like, so, you know, sometimes you drink a lot the night before at the wedding, and maybe you're a little hungover the next day, which puts you in a worse mood. Yeah.
So he knew he was doing it while he was at the wedding with you. That's an interesting twist to this.
You know what? Here's your perfect example of everything happens for a reason.
That's
now
right.
I have a fabulous husband and a wonderful little girl and 2 dogs now.
And an incredible life where, again, you need a film crew at all times because weird things happen at your place.
Somebody said, said keep him posted.
No, Travis is great. One of my best friends for a long, long time. So I'm glad that y'all are together as well.
You got one, Euro?
I don't, but Joey.
That's a good one, Ross.
That was good, Ross. Thank you. Joey in Cross Plains has a throat
What's
punch
up?
Thursday
Yeah,
submission.
what's up, Slay Dog?
What up, Joey?
What's up?
What's happening?
What's up, Babs?
Hi,
and Mayor?
Joey.
What up, Joey?
I ain't talked to you in a while. Now, Babs, I'm going straight up and admit this, and I mean, I'm straight up man, but you scared me a little bit half the time.
So you would
but
post
no.
it. You would post it note dumper.
No, I'm not. No, I do it. I would do it face to face and take the consequences.
I like it.
But no, so my throat punch is there's this kid that sits behind me in geology. Now y'all know I'm blind.
Yeah.
And dude's name is Ben. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after class, I just want to throat punch him because he acts like he's the smartest kid in the room.
Oh,
After everything the professor says, he's got to add on to it or tell the professor, no, this is what it is. And I just want to be like, dude, bleep you, shut up, and then I want to throat punch him after class.
I can feel you on that one.
I wonder if he listens to the
Appreciate it,
show
man.
because he is going to absolutely know that Joey just called in.
Well, you gave him his name.
Oh, he straight called him out.
Thank you,
Listen,
Joey.
Ben,
Appreciate it.
Ben, don't be that guy.
Let's go to South Central Kentucky. PJ's in Bowling Green. PJ, what up?
Hey, what's up, guys? First time caller.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's great. The throat punch I have is for that amateur from Florida State, Ballister, that decided to urinate in Ray's Creek at the Masters.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
When the bathrooms were right there.
Yep. That's a great throat punch.
You can't pee in Ray's Creek, man.
You can't pee on a
it's
golf
hollow
course.
ground.
Well,
It's the Masters.
Especially that one.
That one, yes. I mean, Macabre International over there off West End. That might be a different
McCabe.
story. Yeah,
Pay the
McCabe.
water bill. Pay the water bill.
Are you speaking from experience, Mayor?
I mean,
PJ, that was a good one.
you got to go. You got to go. There are trees everywhere. Well,
You
listen,
gotta get
growing up as a dude, you understand tree is the next option.
Yeah,
Okay, but would it have been better if he peed on a tree instead of in the creek?
No, you don't pee at the Masters. He's right. Hollowed ground.
But I'm also saying, would it have been better if it wasn't the creek?
I mean, wash it away.
I'm just curious.
So, okay, if this guy would have done it at St. Jude in Memphis or something, it's okay.
Was the creek flowing? If the creek was flowing, it's
still Augusta. There's not a piece of trash at that place.
Like at the zone golf tournament.
You never see trash.
At the zone golf tournament, will anyone that participates in that thing hit a tree?
Like pee on a tree?
Yeah, pee on it.
Oh, he was trying to be proper.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Me and Slade just totally screwed it up.
Yeah, with a ball, yes, of course. 100% that's going to happen.
1,000% that was.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It might be somebody sitting in this room.
True.
And not me, for the record.
We'll be right back.
All right, how hard is it to get your entertainment nowadays, right? When we're talking TV. Well, guess what? Xfinity Entertainment wants to make it easy for you to access what you love however you want, anywhere you want. Their most complete full spectrum TV experience is here, and customers can enjoy live TV, DVR, on demand, all their favorite streaming apps all in one place. You can get all your national and local channels. You can enjoy NFL games, top TV shows, and even access it on the go with the Xfinity Stream app. The popular section there includes thousands of hit TV shows on demand, TV networks like Disney, HGTV, USA, TNT, CNN, the list goes on, ESPN, all of those. That is Xfinity Internet. Free live streaming channels included free with your Xfinity service, from action to comedy to reality and more. There is something for everyone thanks to Xfinity. Viewing requires access to internet service and may count against your data plan. Most live sports include viewing on integrated third-party apps. You want to get started? Call 1-800-XFINITY, visit Xfinity.com, or drop into an Xfinity store today for more details.
Good evening. It is 5:05. I'm Just Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Today, the Titans released offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere, former 2022 third-round pick. Started 28 games over the last 3 seasons. Titans freed up $3.65 million against the cap at a cost of just $239,000 in dead money. The team also announced the signing of 3 offensive linemen, including Sam Mustipher, Brendan James, and Ollie Uda. Memphis basketball got hit by the transfer portal today as star PJ Haggerty is expected to enter. Haggerty, a second-team All-American, averaged 21.7 points per game as a sophomore. Also, ESPN's Pete Thamel reported that Memphis forward Dane Danger intends to hit the portal as well. However, Danger posted on his social media that he was, quote, not going anywhere, and no decisions have been made. He averaged 14.8 points per game. 5-star power forward Nate Ament has received a crystal ball to Tennessee from Travis Branham of 24/7 Sports. Ament is currently ranked the number 2 power forward and number 4 player nationally on 247 Sports. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bring news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Prince Orty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It was cloudy an hour ago, and now it's beautiful out there. Warm, sunny. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Dawn, Babette, Davenport, right there.
What up, Babsy? What up, Babsy?
That's right.
Michael on
Twitch,
YouTube,
please.
that dude was too scared to break up with Babs in person. That is true.
I mean, let's be honest. Mr. Babs legit texted me to ask me out on a date.
That's not the whole story, though.
He
And
didn't
this
even,
is the beautiful part of this
couldn't
story.
even call.
I would have told you, hey, we're going on a date. Let's go.
So I've told y'all,
That would have gone over well.
I've known Travis, Dawn's husband, for a long time. I mean, many, many, many years. And I love him like a brother. And so I'm pulling into work one day, and my man calls me, and says, hey, man, I think he called me. Maybe he texted me. I think he called me. He said, hey, man, you mind if I call Dawn to ask her out? And I was like, who am I? Her dad? Like, what do I care?
You know, you're gonna have
my
the
work
inside.
dad.
Yeah, you got the inside, dog.
I'm like, why would I? So for you to ask me the question, there's a possibility I would say, no, don't do it.
No, he knows that you know her temperament. Like, no, dog, you probably don't need to do that. Like, let's wait. That's what he calling for.
Well, my answer was my answer, which was, why are you asking me, basically?
that wasn't the feed he was looking for, you.
I'm like, hell yeah, call her.
You could have let him down the wrong road.
Right. But you know what? He didn't call her. What did he do?
Text it.
Yeah, I was safe. I feel him. I was cool right there.
But also when he
You barely knew who he was.
Yeah, well, because I had met him because we all
You met him a couple
hung
times,
out.
but
So I
yeah.
had met him a couple times, but then and then I guess when you guys had your boys trip, we did our Titans tailgate. Where was that? Kansas City.
yeah.
The monster tailgate. I was there
incredible.
too.
Yeah.
Although
That's when you Ubered across the street to your hotel because you didn't know where your hotel was.
correct.
And you rode the bull. And the bull
and I rode
threw
the
her
mechanical bull.
into the wall.
You
now,
guys.
why wouldn't you text her? She
Well,
rode
but
in an
he
Uber
didn't
across
see
the
all
street.
that because he wasn't even with us.
No,
by
he
that.
left. He left really early that night and went back and went to
Yeah.
sleep.
So that's when I met him.
Yeah,
him.
it was me and
I
Babs
actually
out.
knew
Okay.
about him. Yeah.
With all the listeners. All the listeners
All
were
of our
going around because
listeners,
this
yeah.
was the, what do they call it? The electric district or power district?
Light, power and light district.
Yes.
Light and power district. Power
And so,
and
like,
something.
the big Titans event turned into this thing where it was like 1,000 Titans fans just going from bar to bar to bar.
That
over
is
there.
where Coach Max said on a scale of 1 to 10, this is some pretty good Shiano.
Yeah.
But
That's
he didn't
where
say
that
Shiano.
famous line came from. Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
So anyway, so then texts me
That was a hell of a night.
to ask me out and actually says, oh, I'm not sure if you're on air or what your schedule is. I'm like, no, you know exactly when I'm on air. I do a show with your best friend.
Yeah.
Or
You're,
one
I
of your
mean,
best friends.
yeah,
Gotta come in light, Babs.
Yeah,
You
he's
can't come in
playing it
so
cool.
heavy. Yeah,
Playing it
come in
cool.
so heavy, Babs.
Yeah.
But I gave him a chance.
Good job.
And Patton dog, first met him, didn't try to eat him. It was one of the first guys that I dated that Patton did not try to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, boy, he took a run at me. That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure he
every time I see him.
Snuck like a shot or some kind of.
Like on There's Something About Mary where they throw
I'm pretty positive. Like, that dog ain't got a clue.
You're saying he parked down the street and walked around back.
That dog has no clue what's going on.
Had some drugs on him and
no clue.
And a syringe.
Like, that dog is.
Maybe some sedatives.
Closest thing to Cujo that we're going to find.
Yeah. He's kind of Cujo. Yeah.
All right, coming up, we've got
dangerous. This is a dangerous dog.
We've got a pastor from Maryville, Tennessee that was abducted at gunpoint in South Africa while preaching a sermon. And he ended up he got rescued, but there was a shootout. Like 3 of the abductors got killed in this shootout. So they encouraged the people when he was safe and everything to talk about light things. And so he then, a few minutes later, became very concerned about the Nico situation. So we'll tell you about that story coming up in just a little bit. Also, Ashton Genty released a letter to all the NFL teams.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear what this is.
You want to hear
you
it
didn't
now?
read it?
No,
we can go ahead and do it now if you want to now.
Yeah,
I like to do it live.
It's probably the hardest quote I've ever.
Is it? Okay.
When you say hardest quote, what do you mean by that?
Like,
Seth?
it's tough. It's tough.
Okay, well, judge it here, Slay. Ready?
I will, yep.
Ashton Genty, all right? I've taken the long way. I'm done with that way. If you pick me, it's simple. I'm coming to your franchise to do what Saquon and the Eagles just did. I'm coming to win big soon. It's tackle in all caps. It's tackle football. You know what I'm saying? I'd draft the guy they can't tackle. Thank you for your time, Ashton Genty.
I'm with that.
That's pretty good.
Respect.
That's tough.
Why is it tough?
Would that be hard?
Just respect. Yeah, that's hard. That's cool.
Whatever.
That's dope.
It's tackle football, so go ahead and draft someone they can't tackle. Yeah. The confidence, that's tough.
Zeph, you're way off on this, man.
No, he's saying tough.
No, tough
as
isn't
in
good.
I thought you meant the statement was bad.
No, I loved it. I'm drafting at 1-1 after that.
Okay.
Oh, you taking a 1?
Yeah, take him at 1 after that quote.
I told y'all I had to dream.
Stop.
Not all running backs are created equal.
So what you going to do with quarterback,
They're not, you're right.
Zephyr?
Hand the ball off 80 times a game.
Just until he dies.
Yeah, I was just
You got Tony
doesn't matter. 8, 9 in the
Pollard
box,
and
10
Spears
in the
back
box.
there.
It don't even matter.
Look,
Yeah.
you got Tony Pollard and Spears back there.
No, they'll be. You're not taking him number 1 and letting him relax on the bench.
No. He's gonna play. I'm saying, but you got some relief back there that's solid.
As number 1, you don't get to just play.
I mean, my dream was
That's what Cam known.
They traded back and took Genty.
I hope they let Cam come in and sit behind Will Levis. Since that's what we're doing today. This is going out here then. That's what we're doing today. Yeah, let's bring him in, give Will Levis another chance.
Do you think Will take on like a teacher role, like he's going to try to be a mentor?
Well, he's going to try to abuse him. He's going to give him everything you're looking for.
I just got a...
Will Levis is... Listen, don't get it misconstrued. Will Levis is a competitor.
Oh no
yeah.
question.
Yeah, he going to do something wild during the competition.
Sometimes too much of a competitor.
If Will Levis doesn't get traded and they go to training camp with Cam Ward and Will Levis in his head is, I'm battling for this job.
Yeah, I'm QB1. No, I'm QB1.
QB1, yeah.
I had the most time.
Which is how he has to be.
Yeah.
Young boy.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good, boy.
And he'll push Cam.
Yes, he will. Oh, it's going to be good.
Do y'all like how I talk like it's just a done deal?
Yeah,
like they're just
push
taking Cam and just call it a day. It's a done deal.
Cam Ward, no matter what.
Ah, yes.
I do believe that exact statement came out of my mouth 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Cam Ward, no matter what.
I got a text from Bop. He says, I feel that guy. Don scared me for a year when I first started.
So
I did go off on Bob a couple times.
So he's not scared anymore?
Are you not scared anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to up my game. I'm getting soft.
Break.
Getting soft.
Thanks, Slay, for relaying that message on air.
No, because we all said that we get out of here.
Ramon Foster next?
Ramon Foster, Big Savagery is next. That is true. Maybe we'll hit him with the pastor story, who's concerned about Nico after he was abducted by gunpoint. 3HL 1045 this one.
What's happening, good people? That was just a little tickle, a little laughter by Tickle Me Elmo. Don't even worry about that. Let's get to KellumStemCellInstitute.com, people. Now, holistic stem cell therapy is live and direct for you and ready. Your body, your cells, your solution can fight the inflammation that you don't want to fight. You don't even know it's in there to fight. But your stem cells, that's what it's about. They're stored for future and continued use. I'm going over to get a little refill of the secret sauce. Boom, a little shot. Get this hip back to acting right before the summer hit. And then I ain't ready to get out there in the sand and play around in the water and maybe go shoot some hoops, maybe just, take a little walk around the block without some pain coming back. Without having to pop all these little pills. Not when I can get my own body to do the work. 615-850-4415. That's the number. Congestive heart failure, lung issues, autism, arthritis, whatever it may be. They can handle it. You sit in there and you talk to Dr. Kellum one-on-one. You get the rundown exactly what's going on. Kellum is the stem cell specialist for the Tennessee Titans. Now, some clients, especially athletes, even just use them for naturally enhanced performance and longevity. All of this, man, to make you feel great knowing you got the remedy right there in your body. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. These are the guys that can help you with any of your gifting responsibilities throughout the course of the year. And you have many. You've got Mother's Day coming up, graduations, whatever else you have going on in your life, anniversaries. Maybe you're thinking about popping the question. Brentwood Jewelry can help you with that. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget. Browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings or talk with their custom-designed specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. If you haven't already heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection of watches, but they are also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, both vintage and current models. You can own a fine pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost, and every watch has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. Brentwood Jewelry, they've got everything you need jewelry-wise. Check them out online, BrentwoodJewelry.com, 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Again, BrentwoodJewelry.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Big Savagery. Ramon Foster joins us now from Ramon, Kayla, and Will, weekday mornings from 6 until 10 on 1045 The Zone. Great job with the spring game. Orange and white game. Good job, man.
Man, thank you, man. Listen, I try to make sure people aren't just saying that just to say it. I was really up there nervous as heck. I almost called Mike Keith, Coach Matt, one time, and just trying to get my bearings underneath me, man. I enjoyed myself, though. I will say that. It was good being amongst family.
The part I heard was great until I texted you. Great. If I don't text you, that's when,
That's when it's like when the coach stopped talking to you.
Yeah. Savage, that was good, though. I thought Mike Keith did a great job. First Vol Network thing outside of the things that he's doing with the Mike Keith show, which is phenomenal. But the way that he was able to quarterback that situation with you and Swain and Hubbs, I thought was great.
No, it was, man. I mean, we all got we all got the same news that you guys did at the same time too, and we got pulled to the side, man, by Bill Martin. And what's funny with me, man, I'm used to being on the player side of things, y'all, to where like there are meetings that everybody has, and then there's coaches meetings and stuff like that, and nobody ever gets a chance to go in the coaches meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hanging back a little bit, and Mike Keith was like, "Hey, Ramon, you're in this group. You can come with us." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to know what to do in these situations." So it was cool, man. It was new to me. And if you guys know me, like any other athlete in this world, man, you all for new challenges and stuff like that. So I was excited. It was worrisome, and still can be somewhat problematic with what can transpire with Nico leaving and all those types of situations. More perception than anything, though.
Well, I mean, but more than perception, right? I mean, who's your quarterback right now? I know
Jake
they're
Merklinger.
still looking in the portal, but
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, Ramon, it's going to be a crazy year for you guys in the booth talking about Tennessee Vols football.
It is, but it also makes more people want to tune in to what we got going on the field, too, Babsy. So I'm a glass half full person almost every single time, man. And I also believe this. Sometimes you got to go back a couple steps just to make yourself right. And I'll be, my perspective on this was from all things I had heard surrounding the team, of course, put themselves in a position where they felt like, well, it's us against the world. And that's fine initially, for that day, for the next few days. But it's also I question with this portal being open, okay, well, what kind of decisions will be made by people who weren't in their locker room, that are not athletes, that are more business-minded? Because a lot of people see that as, look, well, wow, there's $2.5 million available right now. Let me threaten to jump off into the portal. Or, hey, maybe that person does like Nico a little bit more, feel uncertain about the future of the Vols immediately. And that's where you put yourself in a position as a team to say, we got to keep this close. But it's not our era, Bab, Savage, Mayor, we just had to stay. These guys can actually leave, and these folks have people who are in business or trying to find the best opportunity for their guys and don't believe in the team concept. That's one thing I think that's new to a lot of us, and you hope the relationship to Coach Heupel and his staff, and I even got to throw Spire in it right now. Spire has somewhat laid out for their group, for those guys. Hopefully those relationships are good. Hopefully those checks are being cashed. Hopefully it's more than just being about the money for at least this year moving forward. I don't know what other guys have on their plate, but, you've already gave a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get through the spring ball to this point. But I get it. Business is business. I'm never going to hold anybody back. As much as I love the Vols, I get what climate we're in right now. And finding that quarterback, Fab, to me, and I told Savage this, and I've said it a little bit on our show too, I felt like at the end of the year that Merklinger may be one of those December portal guys because I saw the stuff that he was doing. I understand this, though, to be the case. He's never started before. He's never played against Georgia or Florida or Alabama. And you feel a whole lot more comfortable if you have a guy that's been in those situations or have at least some on-field experience. And neither one of those guys right now really have that for the course of 12 games. But I like Merklinger. I saw what I saw in George. I think George has a crap ton of talent. But it's a matter of him putting on some weight, and is he poised enough, mature enough, if he is the chosen one to take over that spot?
Yeah, very athletic. George McIntyre, that basketball background is going to help him for sure. Real quick on the transfer situation. So how realistic is it to think that a quarterback can transfer to Tennessee, learn the offense in the summer without spring practice, go into fall camp, learn the offense well enough to earn the trust from the coaches, earn the trust from the locker room, and win the starting role? Like, how realistic is that?
Man, that's a lot of moving parts right there, man, to get to that point. Well, I'll tell you this way. You got to go find the right guy that you know that can handle that more than anything. It ain't no if. It's a matter of who can actually handle that. And that's where the coaching staff got to be strategic if they are in that boat, and I think they should be at this point. But it's that to me more than can they. Where's the guy that can really handle it, man? And if you feel that, hey, this guy's a backup at Penn State, this guy's a backup at Ohio State, and you can bring him down and be able to ingest all of that and go get it, they got to be very strategic, because here's the thing. You don't want to ruffle the feathers of Merklinger or George also, because that window opens back up in December if nothing changes as far as Capitol Hill goes. So, Mayor, I think it's possible. Joe Milton was in that spot before also, but it didn't go exactly right. It's dicey, Mayor. I'd much rather it not be the case. I brought it up to Jason Swain on our show on Tuesday, and he was just like, Ramon, they don't have any experience. But I'm of the mindset, man, look, dance with who you brought to the ball. You know? Like, I like that idea of, look, one way or the other, those guys got to be in a position to believe who they recruited. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm almost tired of the transfer quarterback. Hey, we're just going to rent you for a year guy. I'd much rather it be your homegrown, so that the guys that you're recruiting out of high school for the system that you want to play in, freaking go with those dudes. Fans, even myself, we might just have to bite the pillow and just say, you know what? If I'm all orange, or if I'm all scarlet, or if I'm orange and blue and white like Babsy is, man, go with your guys. It bothers me that we got to go find a guy every year, and not just at my university, but Bama's in this situation. Ohio State went and did it too. Like, man, coaches, do your job too. That's where I'm at. I'm tired of making the excuse, oh, he's not ready. Make him ready. Get him ready. Go through your lumps and bumps and bruises. You're getting paid $9-10 million at all these universities. Do your damn job is kind of how I feel about it. Why are you going to come into those parents' households and say, yeah, I'm going to treat him like he's my son? Well, guess what you do with your son sometimes? You put them out on the boat to go fishing by themselves. You put them on a highway to go drive from time to time. You tell them, hey, don't go do this and don't go do that, and you learn to trust them. I feel the exact same way about the transfer portal and quarterbacks too. Trust your friggin' guys, and that's not just at the quarterback position. That's all others. But I'm old school. Y'all hear it coming out right now. Mayor, you got me going, man.
Put him on the boat. I like that. I immediately thought of Fredo and Godfather too.
No, don't put him on that boat.
Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like,
spoiler alert.
Savage, like, Babs, y'all know how it is in college. Like, at some point, you got to get to a point to where you trust them. Yep. I know we laughed at Dabo Swinney and what he was doing at Clemson, but look at the return on that right now. He said, I'm going high school. I'm believing in my guys. And now he's got his high school quarterback with a bunch of high school recruits that have adapted the Clemson system.
Yeah.
And you know what you get there? You get culture.
It's a good thing he's in the ACC, though.
Exactly. But even still, they're a nationally ranked team.
Right.
They got a quarterback right now, it's a potential top 10 draft pick going out this upcoming year.
True.
Like, this is what happens when you buy into the system, and you might have to bite the pillow, or, as we like to say in Pittsburgh, you be a muffled screamer for a year and just deal with it. Like, I actually like that concept. Now, considering how this spring portal has really just turned Tennessee on his head.
Savage, when you talk about that, though, so if that was the case, they would have go in with Merklinger or George. You go with who you brought to the dance. How comfortable are you with the other pieces around it coming out of this spring game and what you've been able to see through in practice, or what you've been able to hear as far as the coaches talking about guys? How comfortable are you with the pieces around it on both sides of the ball?
Well, I know this. I know they feel very strong about the secondary and that linebacker core. They find replacements up front, man, with guys that understand their roles and how to play the same way Big O and Elijah and those guys and James Pierce did up front. That defense is going to be just as good, if not better, too, because if you can trust Rodney Garner up front to send a wave of defensive players after the quarterback each and every play, think about it. You got Ricky Gibson, Jamar McCoy.
Yeah. 2
All-Americans in a sense, with Boo Carter playing on the outside, too. And you got Jeremiah Turreton and also Arion Carter. You would line it up, Savage. If they can show it with the attitude, I go a step below Al Wilson them era. Think about that. You got a group of linebackers up the middle right now that can command the entire defense. When Tennessee is good, that linebacker group is the best. And I feel like as far as homegrown guys, you got that. Offensively is what I'll say. They may not have deep numbers at the wide receiver position, but I think the quality of recruits and players that they have is higher than it was last year. I feel like this year you have to almost try to facilitate guys into plays. I look at Matthews, right? I look at that group, Braylon Staley, as guys that can make plays for you anywhere on the field. On top of the tight end group that they got, too, with Ethan Davis, like, that's where they at. If they can keep this offensive line together, man, and keep it healthy and grow, especially at the center spot. I'm not sure if it's going to be Pendleton or Satterwhite or whoever at the center spot. I feel comfortable with that group. I don't know if they're going to have to depend on David Sanders Jr. this year. So if you're telling me that, look, they need to go find another wide receiver potentially to build more depth, like I can live that. Like that tight end group, that offensive line group, if it stays tight and together, I think it's strong enough to surround a young quarterback to let them grow. Essentially, being real with you, Savage, I thought that's what the plan was last year for Nico.
Right.
We didn't ask a lot of Nico last year. You wanted to see him jump out and take over a game, and we didn't get an opportunity to see that much at all. I think it was the Mississippi State game. Where was it at? Was it Alabama that he threw a dime to Brazel? Vanderbilt, he showed up a little bit more, but you didn't ask a lot of him last year. And I think that can be the same recipe for this year, where I think the quarterback has to be good at this year. It's hitting the deep ball, which we saw Hendon that we fell in love with, which George McIntyre had great touch on that in the spring game, from my understanding, all spring long, okay? And then you have the opportunity to grow in the offense. To me, I felt like Hendon Hooker got better his second year in that offense.
Absolutely.
I felt like we saw Joe Milton get a little bit better in that second year in that offense at times. I think we wanted to see Joe run a little bit more, and he didn't do it. What I saw out of Merklinger and out of George McIntyre was this. They were smart with understanding when to bail. They got out of the pocket and they found themselves. I don't think the quarterback in their first year or two should be asked to do a whole lot. You just need to see a whole lot of promise. And that's where I hate it, honestly, for Nico and his camp, for them not being able to take that next step in this offense to really be able to control and drive the car the way they want to. We never got a chance to see Nico Ilmaliab in the second year in this offense.
Totally agree.
Good stuff.
Yep. Totally agree with that.
Mo Foster with us on Thursday.
I heard the Ashton Genty open letter thing.
Yeah.
I got one word for it. Boo!
What's that, Savage?
What?
Man, absolutely not. Look, you don't have to lobby for us to know that you're that guy at running back. You're going to be the first running back taken. Like, legitimately, I look at this spot and I say to myself, Ashton, they know who you are. You're not going no later than 10. Okay? Like, you're in a good spot. The open letter stuff, man, that's so unnecessary to me. But I'm also an old, bitter guy at this point. That's so unnecessary.
I always wonder, like, what's the motivation there? Like, did he get some teams telling him they're not taking him or something? Like, why do that? You're solidly in the top 15, man. I mean.
Yeah. I just didn't. There's no need for it, the way I look at it. Like, man, the hay's in the barn at this point. Man, you need to go get fitted for a suit, get some comfortable shoes, man, and have your camera crew ready to document all the things that's going on draft night. There was no reason for that letter. But, hey, if y'all want a kumbaya guy, I get it. I'm cool with it.
Savage. Ramon Foster with Ramon, Kayla, and Will weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone.
Babs, all he did was pull on your emotional strings like that. Ooh, he's a tough guy. Oh, that is
Babs doesn't have any emotional strings.
I don't have emotional strings. That's bunk.
Unless it's dogs.
Listen at you, Babs. You was like, ooh, I like that. No, boo.
Boo.
Run this ball for us, man.
he just booed you.
Well, the Players Tribune asked him to write something. What would you have preferred he wrote?
Nothing.
Man, I would have preferred to write, man, I'll see y'all on draft night.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said,
Which they wouldn't have printed, but that would have been fine.
At least he didn't write like a whole book.
Yeah.
Like at least it was short.
Short and to the point.
That's true.
But it was, draft a guy that's hard to tackle. All right, cool. What if you go to a hard team and they running you 400 times a year, 500 times a year? All right, never mind. That's my soapbox, and I'm off of it. Boo the letter, though.
Boo the letter.
We need a Ramon Foster Players Tribune letter. That's what we need.
Yes.
You know what I would tell them, Babs? It's what I live by. It's a game between me and you. I'm going to step on your neck to get what I want. That's all we need.
Short to the point. Ramon Foster, love you, man. Thank you.
Love y'all, too.
right,
I'm really
Savage.
not this violent. I just like to have a good time.
I don't know. I think your true colors coming through here on 3HL.
But, I mean, I just left the football field, and that's what I'm feeding my young 7th and 8th grader offensive linemen. Look, we're going to be mean. Y'all be nice in that classroom. If I hear any of y'all in detention, guess what? We're going to be super mean on the field, so there's no need for you to be bad in the classroom. Get out here, and let's go to work.
That's right. Can you coach baby Babs?
Listen to me. I'm a softie for girls. That's the reason I don't have any, okay? My nieces got me wrapped, okay?
Yeah, she's got a lot of promise as a dancer, so maybe you can help her with that too.
I heard Savage say what she told him the other night at the play. What she say, Savage? I can do what I want.
I can do what I want.
Yeah.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Why do you think I'm asking if you want to coach her?
Thank you, Savage.
Bear.
Thank y'all.
I thought you asked her, like, you think you can just do whatever you want to do?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
no.
I was telling her, like, hey, why don't you try to color this one right here this way?
Oh.
I can do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. I didn't teach her that.
Well, I liked it.
I don't.
It's kind of matter of fact.
You want to parent her?
I got her.
I'll drop her off.
Uncle Slay, hey man, I'll say
A week
ain't
in
coming
Uncle
back
Slay?
the same. She ain't coming back the same.
A week in Uncle Slay?
Yeah.
She's going to be smoking cigars and drinking bourbon.
Right.
Great time on the front porch. Come on, baby Babs, pull up a seat.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, more 3HL. All right, the Maryville pastor story next on 104.5 The Zone.
All right, it is time for our weekly Tennessee sports trivia question.
Bring it on.
Thanks to Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services in Franklin. All right, boys. Prior to the franchise's move to Tennessee, who was the final first-round pick for the Houston Oilers?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You want me to give you the year?
Yes.
1996.
Oh, I ain't got a clue.
Oh,
Eddie.
come on.
Eddie George.
That's right.
Good job, Euro.
There you go. After his Heisman winning season for Ohio State. Good job, boys. Nailed it. All right, see if you can answer the Tennessee sports trivia question every single week. Brought to you by the Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services in Franklin, Tennessee. If you have $1 million or more to invest and you want to do that with a local team, call financial advisors Jim Candela, Brent Thompson, David Reynolds, or Robert Reynolds at 615-721-4921. See if they can help you achieve your financial goals. For their client relationship summary disclosures, visit ubs.com/relationship summary. UBS Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC.
What's happening, y'all? I got to tell you about BDIL. Who is that? Those initials stand for something. That's Bart Durham Injury Law. Now, when it comes to trucks out here, messing up people and, trying to run around, and then them big insurance companies coming and fighting you, and you probably thinking, this is unfair. You're right. It is unfair. That's why you let Bart Durham Injury Law handle it. You ever thought about what happens when that 80,000-pound truck collides with a regular car? Just like sitting in that courtroom. It's an unfair fight. What else is not a fair fight? What I told you, them versus the insurance companies. You better believe trucking companies have teams of lawyers working to pay you as little as possible. That's why Bart Durham Injury Law steps right in. Blair Durham and the team know how to take care of the trucking companies and fight for the compensation you deserve. It's been standing up for people in our community for decades, making sure big corporations don't get away with cutting corners. So you call this number, 615-242-9000, 615-242-9000. That is Bart Durham Injury Law, protecting the injured, fighting for what's right because you deserve to be paid.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
I'm going to see this concert
You are.
Where at?
in Atlanta.
Ooh, that's
What-
going to be
what is
fun.
this
That'll be the perfect place to
Yeah,
see Kendrick Lamar.
LeBron is want to see one concert, and it's
You're taking your son?
yeah.
Who
Maybe
is
I
this?
shouldn't say
Kendrick
this.
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
In Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many people hear this little groove and think of the viral videos just running through their head with
They
people
should.
doing the dance?
They should. I know it's a classic. Tell them that.
How was the
You
accountant,
like
too, the
this?
other night?
Excelente.
Oh, I
8.5
can't wait to
out
see
of
it.
10.
I can't wait to see
Maybe
it.
9.
It's hard to earn stars for you in
It
movies,
is.
too, so I appreciate you telling me.
That means it was really good.
Man, I'm talking about.
I can always, like, you and I like the same type of stuff.
It
so
was great.
it's such an interesting, creative idea
Mm-hmm.
with an assassin who's on the spectrum.
Yep. Kind of got Rain Man vibes, but they go up a notch.
If Rain Man was a sharpshooter.
Yeah, right. Right. Couldn't learn to control it like this. This is amazing.
So, Maryville pastor Josh Sullivan was abducted at gunpoint in South Africa while preaching a sermon. He was rescued during a shootout with the abductors. 3 of the abductors were killed during this shootout. Pastor Sullivan was unharmed, and after he was safely rescued, he touched base with people back home in East Tennessee. Pastor Sullivan was very upset when told about the Nico situation.
That was a tough way to find our news out.
Yeah, and then he dialed in on that. One of his friends said the biggest conversation Pastor Sullivan had with his wife after his rescue was about Nico. And his friend said, "What can I say? The guy was raised in East Tennessee. What can I tell you?" His friend asked.
Hey, loves Vols.
Loves the Vols.
It's a way of life.
SEC, it just means more.
That is the most
all we
East
know.
Tennessee story I've ever heard in my entire life.
That's all you know.
A pastor gets abducted, and
In
the
South
first thing he's worried about is the Tennessee Volunteers quarterback situation.
They probably made more out of that than what really took place.
Nope, that's what the headline said. That's what I'm believing.
I'm sure he was.
That's the first thing he asked. The cops came and picked him up.
No, they didn't ask him that. They said to talk to him about lighthearted stuff.
Yeah.
So they
See-
brought it up.
See, I'm reading the headline. I don't care about the story.
Oh,
Headline.
You're a part of the
Except that
problem.
guy. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
I would have told Pastor Sullivan, "Hey man, the accountant too. I can't wait to get home. We can go see that thing.
This
man.
right here.
This guy,
I'd like-
took out a lot of people."
I like to imagine that
Kinda like your situation.
I like to imagine that the police or whoever rescued him, like they broke in and they saw him there and they were like, "All right, you're good." And he goes,
Those situations aren't usually handled by the police, man. There's-
it's a little bit over their head a little bit.
whoever rescued him broke in, and his first thing was, "Nico's still the quarterback, right?" Man, I hate to break it to you.
Babs, you've been to South Africa. Were you surprised by this?
No.
Yeah.
I remember.
You just kind of like people know where to go and where not to go, kind of thing.
So full transparency. My first husband.
We're going through your whole
I
thing
know,
today.
right? My first husband
Date guy.
is from
first
South
husband,
Africa.
Second husband.
So
Life
anyway,
husband.
I know, geez. Anyway, so when we went there, like a couple of nights ended up staying with friends. Once you get into the house, like we ate outside, grilled and whatever else. There are like 20-foot walls around their house. 20-foot walls. No, you're thinking nobody can climb those, right? But even then, they gate the area around where you're eating outside. Like it's just normal for them because it's
is life.
It's just violent.
dangerous.
Life.
It's just violent. It's dangerous there.
Is part of it animals? Like you don't want animals to get over the wall too?
No, not in the city, not in Johannesburg.
Okay.
And then I remember we drove from like one of the wildlife areas. We were driving to another, like had a car and drove to another, and we drive through this town, and there's like 4 or 5 stop signs in a row. I mean, no thought of stopping.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that was a stop sign. We don't stop at those stop signs
Yeah, for what?
here. We don't stop. You don't stop around this area.
We're
I'm
trying
like,
to get on that,
okay.
How long
I
did
got
it take to fly there?
22 hours. It's brutal. Brutal.
Get fried multiple times. on
Especially
that
when
flight.
you're not in first class.
Yeah. I learned that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
After my first year, if y'all don't put business in my contract, y'all don't have to worry about me coming. Because I won't be there.
It's rough.
Never.
I can't imagine. 6'8".
I did it my first year.
You did?
Going to Turkey. Boy, that was...
Your knees,
I was like, man, I had an extra row, but still, you need to be able to... Elbow room, I didn't even let my seat back, lay down, go to sleep, wake back up.
Well, and that Atlanta to South Africa flight too, you stop to refuel on that 22 hours, but you can't get off the plane.
Are you just sitting there walking around?
You can walk on the plane and walk around, but you can't get off the plane because the area they stop to refuel in is not safe.
Learning a lot today. Today's show, man.
It's good.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did a bad job.
But all that to say, South Africa is beautiful and amazing.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, I sat there and watched a lion eat a giraffe 5 feet away from me.
Yeah, that one right there. With no gate, no cage over you?
Nope.
Just out there, you can reach out and touch them.
I mean, you're not that close.
I mean, he's occupied.
I have
It's
some
not like
video. I'll show you.
Yeah, it's not like he's hungry, so he's
He's
good
busy.
over there.
He doesn't want anything to do with you. He's eating right in front of you.
Yeah. What
Nature,
about his buddies?
baby.
His buddies might have been.
Yeah, they were wandering over, but see, you have to wait for him to finish because he's the pack.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So while they were waiting, though, you could have been a little appetizer.
That's always a possibility. Always a possibility.
That would have had me nervous.
Yeah.
At least you didn't fall out and hit your head.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been.
That would have been a bad place to do it.
That would have been Patton waking you up, feeling them little licks on your cheek.
Over.
Yeah, but.
Let's hit up Emory in Lebanon real quick. Emory, what's up?
Hello?
Emory,
Hi.
what's up?
You're on.
Hey, got a quick question. There's a quarterback in the portal that nobody's even talking about. I know, Brent, you said we got to bring a quarterback in that knows Heupel's system. This quarterback has been in Heupel's system for 5 years. He was Nico's backup last year.
Gaston Moore.
Gaston Moore went into the portal last December, and he hasn't been picked up. Why are we not talking about him?
Oh, Zeph is.
Bring back gas pipe, baby.
Gas pipe. Yeah, Zeph's all over that, Emory, man. Yeah. Would you do that?
Wait,
Just bring back Gaston Moore?
Is he going to be better than George or
Right.
Well, the answer is no. The answer is no. But what I love about Gaston Moore, he comes into the Alabama game for one play. My man threw it
Just
up.
chucks it.
Look, I'm trying to throw deep right now.
That was supposed to be an interception, too.
It was. But at least the intent was like,
Oh,
hey,
here you
man,
go.
let the ball fly.
Listen, he
Yeah,
knows
well,
he knows the system. Just let
ball's
him
out.
throw it.
Yeah.
Let him just chuck it down the field to Mike Matthews.
Yeah, until we down 17-0, and then you looking around saying, "Who the hell brought him back?"
Looking around.
So what? Let him play against like the Chattanoogas of the world, and then bring in Merklinger for the other.
Why you just got to rip on Chattanooga?
Yeah, what'd they do?
Yeah,
Besides
they
win
didn't do
the
anything
NIT
to you.
championship.
They got beat by Tennessee. I know that.
Okay. All right.
Let's not brag on
I love Zeph's perspective on this show.
Let's bring gas pipe back, baby.
There you go.
Gas pipe 2025.
You just like his nickname.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Go ahead and put that on your bingo card. Let's bring gas pipe back.
Yeah, because then he'll throw 3 picks and gaslight you.
Right.
And that video of Josh
And
Heupel
you'll be
telling
like, shut him down.
that video of Josh
shut him
Heupel
down.
telling the team at halftime, "Gas pipe your ball."
Yeah.
That was the most electric thing I've ever watched.
That was pretty classic.
That was good. I don't know about most electric thing I've ever
Nope,
seen.
most electric thing. Recency bias.
3HL bingo card. There were so many, and I didn't write them down, and that's operator error. But I did write down. I hope they take Cam and sit him behind Levis, because that's where we are with this show today. Is what Slay said.
We all
Love you
in.
guys. Friday edition coming at you live tomorrow. We got a guy on from the Houston Chronicle, correct? That did a story on Cam Ward.
Michael Shapiro.
Yeah.
From his high school
Good
days
story.
and on. So, yeah, we'll talk about the former wing T quarterback in high school tomorrow and take tons of your calls. It will be free for all Friday, Rant Ray Friday,
Bring it.
whatever. Bring it Friday. We appreciate you guys including us in your day. We do not take, and your lives. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Hope you have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you were going to be the number 4 wide receiver in all of the NFL.
Who would that be?
Traylon Burks. Thanks, Cam Ward.
Jeez.